Welcome to the 2023 SYC Kentucky, presented by Storm Bowling. The Storm U Championships are brought to you by I Am Bowling, the official merchandiser for the SYC. By PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18. And by Kegel, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy. And by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm U Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from Kingpin Lanes outside of Louisville, Kentucky and Jeffersontown, it's the 2023 SYC Kentucky. Welcome to the 2023 SYC Kentucky, presented by Storm Bowling. The Storm U Championships are brought to you by I Am Bowling, the official merchandiser for the SYC. By PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18. And by Kegel, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy. And by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm U Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from Kingpin Lanes outside of Louisville, Kentucky and Jeffersontown, it's the 2023 SYC Kentucky.
Hello, everyone. That was fun. That was a fun little few minutes. So we're here. We're here. I'm Blair. That's Kyle True.
Hello.
Kyle, what's up?
Glad to be back.
Day 2 of the SYC Long Pattern. We're at Kingpin Lanes in Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville.
We're having a competition. Who can say Louisville? I can't.
Or who knows how to say Louisville.
Yeah, and we're going to show some bowlers. So we got 2 pairs in front of us. We got 7 and 8, 9 and 10. And what's the length of the pattern, Kyle?
We got 44 feet in distance, 28 milliliters of oil, and Kegel conditioner. That's still, I forgot to ask what type of oil they use.
Come on.
I'm going to need to get that information.
It's all right. It's
during
all right.
the break.
We'll, yeah.
The ratio 3.6 to 1. So again, kind of in that same range, 3.5 to 1. Kind of challenging, but still some score out there to be got. I think we've seen that yesterday, especially down the stretch. Seen a lot of those 250s or 260s from a lot of kids the last few games. So, but then overall, the scoring pace was still kind of low.
Yeah,
I would say. So
I agree. There were, at the end of the day, there was some discussion about the scoring pace. And Kyle, I think it's a great time to talk about this and then we'll talk about some of the bowlers in front of us.
I'm gonna pull it up too on my phone.
If you go to a tournament, right, and you show up and you're like, you look at the pattern and you think it's going to be a high scoring pattern based on like practice session, and then you're like, oh man, this I'm good. I'm good on this whatever pattern, right? Medium pattern. And then your group of bowlers, your squad that you're on, you kind of attack it differently, and all of a sudden the scores are lower than you thought it would be. That happens, right?
Oh yeah, all the time. And my issue with that right there is just that looking at a pattern and expecting anything is a problem. We want to try and avoid preconceived notions. You can look at a pattern and gather some information and maybe put together a game plan. But as far as trying to guess the scoring pace, that's one of the last things I think anybody should be worried about.
Right, when it
comes to bowling.
Yeah, and it really doesn't matter. If you're bowling in the U12 division, you don't care what the U18 division's doing because you're trying to beat the bowlers within your division, right? So it really is like, it's hard when you're going through this sport and there's so many variables and everything, but sometimes some divisions just score lower than others' divisions.
Yeah, for sure. And, just to finish my point on, maybe trying not to worry about the scoring pace beforehand. Now, once you're in it and bowling, then you're definitely, you want to look and see what the scoring pace is within your division, and judging on the scoring pace and maybe your ball reaction, then you can kind of get a feel for where you're at. If, okay, I've got 180, 190, feeling all right, scoring pace is 215, I probably need to try something different. If it doesn't work, okay.
Yeah.
But then there's, on the other hand, if you're kind of grinding along and you look and see you're only 30 out of first,
yeah,
then you may not really want to risk too much because you're still right there. So it's all about, just the situation that you're in. But, when we're talking about the pattern, 44 feet, 28 mils.
that's today, the long pattern. Yeah.
The long pattern.
Yeah, where would you play if you were looking at it today and you're like, man, this is where I think I would play the lanes?
That's kind of goes right back to
right?
what I was just saying.
Yeah, like don't look at the pattern, right?
My first 4 or 5 shots of practice would be one ball up each arrow. One ball at the first arrow, a ball up the second arrow, one at the third arrow, one at the fourth arrow, and just kind of judge and see where my ball hooks in the front part of the lane.
Yeah.
If I notice I throw it up the first arrow and it goes 50 feet down the lane, and then I throw it up the second arrow and it hooks at 30 feet, well, that's probably going to tell me I probably don't need to be playing the gutter if there's hook in the middle of the lane, because then whenever I move into third and fourth arrow and my ball kind of finds the pocket, well, then that's kind of an early starting point. And then I would throw one shot with a lot of angle left to right to see how much my ball would hook. And that's kind of the starting game plan in a practice.
I hope people are watching and listening to that great advice.
The other general rule, the rule of 31, you can take the pattern length, subtract 31, and that gives you a general breakpoint area. But I'm already looking around. That would not be too correct on this pattern, because people's balls are hooking from like 5'6", and 44 minus 13 or 44 minus 31 would be 13. Yeah, these kids are getting their ball to hook from way further right than 13. So, that's another one of those things that sometimes it works out when you get done bowling. You kind of realize maybe where your best line of attack was, and that rule of 31 will line up sometimes. But today, it's a long pattern with a lot of extra hook to the right.
I love it.
So you can pretty much play as far left as you want.
I'm going to fix this one camera really quick so we can have our 2 frames. So hang on 1 second.
All right. I'll talk to my brother. I see he's on here. So good morning to anybody in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and hit the share on Facebook while she's fixing the camera. Tell people to come say, hey.
So Kingpin Lanes is great, and we've really enjoyed our time here. And what's interesting, we tried this time, where we set up the live stream pairs right in the middle of it's not the middle of the house. It's near one end, but this area right in front of us is dead. It's a walkway that isn't actually a walkway. So we're trying to use this and not block any parents. But that's why we don't have any lanes in front of us. So if you're watching and you're like, what's going on with the cameras? That's because we're showing 2 pairs. So we've got the bowlers on 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. And looks like we have young Jacob Yoakum just struck.
Nolan doesn't have a 5-pin.
Oh, Nolan Conway does not have a 5-pin. Yes.
They got it.
Good job.
I just got a better angle on it than him being from the side. I can see down there. That's just the worst thing if you get the shot off and strike, and then you have to redo it, and then you don't strike.
It is the worst.
That's why you want to always try and catch the guy before he throws it, even if you got to yell at him or go tackle him. No, don't throw it.
They say that bowling's not a contact sport, but sometimes it may be.
I mean, I was about to jump out of the seat and go tackle him.
Yeah. So Gavin, who just struck on lane 10, he was on the podium.
Perfect.
Nice job. That's your good karma for the day, Kyle. Good job. Fist bump.
Yeah. He's like, what's going on?
He's like, I don't understand. Anyway, Gavin, who just struck on lane 10, he was on the podium earlier today when we awarded our medium medalists. Got Mr. Elliot Gordon. He's an SYC champion. Who else we got? Quinn Dean.
Quinn Dean carrying a Brooklyn for the front 5.
Quinn's got some cool hair.
Got some nice hair. I was just about to say that.
Mr. Aiden Bergeron. Aiden actually took home the I Am Bowling Random Scholarship this morning in his division.
Sure did.
So he's getting a little extra scholarship money.
$100 winner.
Thanks to I Am Bowling. We like that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Give away some random scholarships this morning.
Mr. Dylan Barnes on lane 7. You'll see he was on the was he the gold medalist?
Dylan.
Let me check out. Dylan Barnes. I know he's from Michigan because I heard yesterday.
Miles Gordon won the gold in the U12.
Miles did. Dylan won the gold in the U18, and he was on that pair.
Man.
Or U15. Is that U15? U15. I'm sorry. Dylan was gold, and then Gavin was bronze
So
in
Miles
U15.
is in the U12 division.
Miles is in the U12 division, and his brother's in the U15 division. You ready to bowl them?
I mean, he throws it. He throws it pretty sick. I just watched him throw it.
Miles Gordon has won 4 SYC titles.
I can see that. Yeah, I can definitely see that. In which division? Is he a multi-division winner yet?
Not yet. But, the Gordon brothers, Miles and Elliot, they did something that's never been done. And you'll appreciate this, a little family tie. U12, U15 boys, they won in the very same tournament.
That's awesome.
It was so cool. I'm like, we've never had that. And it's kind of rare.
I got another question. Have you ever had a lower division bowl beat the gold medal for the next division up?
We have. We've had that happen. We've also had the girls beat the boys.
Okay.
Which Leanne
I could see.
likes to comment on that a little bit.
That's awesome.
You can see why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we have. I think it might have been Miles one tournament. Because he
maybe
wrecked
clipping some of the U15.
Also,
division.
when Mateo and Brady were in the U12, they were striking a bunch, and they would beat the U15 every once in a while. So, yeah, it's happened.
So much young talent.
Oh my goodness, it's crazy. And this is the time of year that you're kind of seeing kids who are at the end of their age division as we're leading into junior gold, because the age change happens in August 1st of the year.
Okay.
So you're in your age division until August 1st. So this
Kids
is kind of
last years in certain divisions.
Yeah, so you're seeing some of the old, I bet Miles is moving up this year in the U12. So this is his last kind of go at U12.
So he's wanting to win everything.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what they get to.
How did he bowl on the short pattern? I'm about to look.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out. We'll look up some scores today. We do have some close divisions.
Oh, yeah.
U18 boys, I think, is very close.
I can't wait till the last game, because we look at the cut line and stuff on tour all the time.
Yeah.
He bouncing around following scores.
Well, I know for sure the U18 girls will be close to us at the end of the day, so that division's close.
Miles. He got the bronze medal the first day, -62 for 5 games.
He's just slowly rolling along
good.
this. Yeah, he's like, I'm just going to be consistent, right?
See, I think he's going to bowl pretty good today. He's got a little extra hold, a little bit longer pattern.
He's a solid bowler.
44 feet, but like I said, there's plenty of friction. I mean, look around. There's some decent strings going already. We got a 280 pace game, 270 pace. Miles on 240 pace.
So this must be Quinn's mom, I'm thinking, Christy. Hi, Christy. She says, Kyle, now I will never get him to cut his hair. He's rocking it, Mom.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. And then if he wants to put some product in it every now and then, style it up, yeah, then you don't need a haircut then.
At the next SYC that you come to, we should do, hair lessons with Kyle True.
Oh, God. I'm still learning my own. My girlfriend had to tell me to get new shampoo and conditioner a couple months ago.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that stuff you use makes your hair too dry. Gotta get some different stuff. I'm like, all right.
It's awesome.
I can't tell the difference.
That's fantastic. Hey, there is a lot of product out there.
I went to my barber, the other week, and he said, "What are you doing to your hair differently?" I'm like, "Oh, I guess it's working then." Yeah, I changed my shampoo and conditioner. Perfect.
Yeah. So
Always learning.
I heard I want to give a shout out to Cyrus Uchwal here. He's got a good start to his game, and I didn't jinx him. Let's go.
Oh.
It's a nice little 5-bagger. Ooh, we
Yeah.
could give away a 6-pack of chicken tenders.
Oh, boy. It's early for the 6-pack of chicken tenders, but we can do it.
Yeah. So I heard Jameson, one of the bowlers on this pair, told me Jameson actually has a little injury on his hand. He got his hand caught in like a machine or something a few weeks ago. So he's
Hanging in there through injury, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. This is Mr. Dillon on lane 7.
Yeah, it looks like he was dealing with little footing issues. He fouled earlier.
Gotcha.
That is a bad place to be right there. Like, dealing with some footing issues. Foul, missing some spares.
Well, the weather did change.
Yep, it did. It's raining a little bit out.
Yes.
It's been sunny, perfect weather the last 2 days.
No humidity, and now we got a little humidity. Not a lot, though, still.
Yeah, the good thing is for Dylan, he does have a double. 51 in the 5th, but you can still get 200 out of that.
True that.
Try and save some of the damage. He's on his way with a double there. It's a tough spot to be. Like, I've been there multiple times, just dealing with footing and just not quite getting comfortable, and it seems like everything that could go wrong is in the first few frames. You just got to keep it together, take a couple deep breaths, make a good shot.
Good advice.
I'm pulling for Dylan here in the last couple frames this first game.
I like it. That was a tough one for Aiden. He tried.
I thought he was going to thread the needle. I
Me
remember
too.
Flow Bowling had us do a contest, see how many times we could fit it back between that.
Oh, that's
I got like 4 out of 10.
Wow.
But I had 4 in like 7 tries, and then made it one time. I'm like, all right, yeah. Trying to go in between it, and I made the whole thing.
Little Jacob Yoakum up here on lane 10.
Oh, about to get a good break.
He didn't like that. He didn't like that one, but him and his sister have worked so hard.
I was
at
wondering
this
if
game.
that was the same Yoakum from yesterday.
Yep.
Even
Yeah,
just watching from yesterday to today, I'm already
See?
recognizing some kids. The one girl that won the medal, I was like, gray tank yesterday? She's like, yeah. I was like, yep, I remember.
Yeah.
Like, I remember.
They love it when you remember, too. They're like, Kyle knows me.
I'm bad with names, but faces and bowling. Like, I can remember how you bowl.
And the jersey, maybe, right? Like,
yeah,
if
and
they
the
have
jersey,
a cool
too.
jersey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or cool hair. Like,
We have John McCarthy tuning in from the front desk. Hello, John.
oh.
I told John he needs to swing by the live stream at one point today so we can give him some
John,
props.
John, what type of oil do you guys use? I've been
Yeah.
talking about that since you're tuning in. Can you let us know what type of oil?
Yes. And he has a little tidbit. Cyrus just got over a hip injury and is
Wow.
making a great return. And he's up here now on 10. Oh,
Look
yeah.
at this. He got it
Let's
again.
go.
Oh, yeah. He's
And,
feeling it
yeah,
now.
I
6
love
pack
it.
of chicken tenders.
I love it.
Yeah.
Kyle, you're giving away chicken tenders at 10:30 in the morning. Let's go. Or
That's chicken
10:21,
tenders.
actually.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, Cyrus is cool. Cyrus has grown a bunch. I wonder if that affected. Growing is hard.
I remember going through it. Luckily, I'm done with that now. I
Yeah,
think.
right?
The only thing that's growing is my hairline backwards. It's growing further and further back.
Well, luckily, the lighting in here,
It
you're not
just
having as
makes
much.
it look even better.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all
I
right.
need my headband on today, too.
Yeah.
My headband.
You're out of sorts.
Well, my hair is going to be all messed up today with the headset on.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but it's all right. Just going to have curls, flat, and then curls again.
Yeah.
That's a good shot from Aiden.
Good shot from Elliot, too, over there. Elliot Gordon. Kinda-
Simultaneous strike right there.
Yeah, there's some striking. And they're bowling a little
That's
quicker because
Jacob
they're striking.
Yoakum. That one seems a little bit better, a little more in front of him.
Oh, come
And then
on.
it goes high flush. That's a little over-under for Jacob. What's up, Henry?
This long pattern's pretty nice. It's like you can throw wide out. You can throw straight.
You still got some hook on it?
Yeah, I can throw wide out.
Okay.
I'm throwing it TV.
Which one? Deviate? All right. So we got a
You got a lane side reporter.
lane side live talk from my man Henry Mann.
Henry Mann.
He said this pattern. I know Henry. He's got a little bit slower ball speed, tends to hook it a little bit more. He said he can get it wide right
Nice.
with plenty of hook. So I think that matches what we were saying. 44 feet, long pattern with a little more friction involved. So
Dylan
nice, matched up.
Dylan is having, like you said, when things rain, they pour kind of going on over in this game.
What happened there? I missed it.
That was the lovely 3-6-10 that nobody wants to shoot when they're having footing issues.
Which pin did he leave?
3.
Unfortunately, that's a miss. See, when the 3-6-10, so that's another rule in bowling.
Okay.
If you leave the 3 pin, that is not a chop. That's just a whiff.
Okay.
Because you didn't even really give it a chance to chop it. The chop is when you hit the 3 and take the 3 off, or you chop the 3-6 and leave the 10. If you flag the 3, that's just a whiff. You just whiff the spare.
Okay, good to know. Yeah. I had no idea.
So, but either way, yeah, we need a 4-bagger for Dylan here.
We got this, Dylan. Yeah. We're rooting you on. He's a great bowler. He's just, like you said, it's having a rough go of it this morning. And
when I heard the foul light go
shoe
off.
Too, because it's raining outside, so he could have gotten something.
Got some water on his shoe.
It could be anything.
All I know is I heard the foul light go off, and I was like, that's never good.
Yeah.
Hear foul light in like the middle of the game.
Not fun.
Yeah, the other interesting thing, like Miles here, had a good start. These lanes, I feel like, transition fairly quickly. They kind of break down, a good bit. I noticed some kids were moving. Jaden was bowling on this pair yesterday.
Yeah.
And he had the front 8, and then he went through the 9 pin, and then he went through the face, and he said the lane started to hook a little more on it because I talked to him this morning. And that's the one thing I think some of these kids will have to be aware of is, just continuing to stay ahead of the transition almost. That's something that we definitely learn on tour with the amount of rev rate. And the other thing is a lot of us on tour play the same part of the lane.
Sure.
So, we only have 4 on a pair versus 6, but all those guys are within 5 or 6 boards of each other most of the time on the lane. So we're just taking that part of the lane and just like destroying it as a whole for the tournament. So then when you're moving pair to pair, you don't have quite the randomness maybe going down the lane. So, we're always moving pretty much every 5 or 6 frames. You're moving a board or 2. And then the more we're hooking it, the faster we're moving.
So now that's a very interesting point that I think bowlers, especially at the youth level, that's so hard to learn to move, right? Because sometimes you're moving when you're striking, right?
Oh, yeah. Most of the time we are.
Yeah, so you're like,
and you don't really know that. You
right.
You can't tell if the guy moved a board, after a turkey. But, you're striking.
And you're just watching how your ball exits.
Goes through the pins.
Right.
And how it reads the lane. Because that's the other goal of mine is pretty much when I throw it, I want to try and pick the ball up with my eyes as early as I can, the ball going down the lane. That way I can watch it cross the arrows, hit my break point, and then continue through the pins. If you're just watching your ball down the lane, watching your ball motion going left to right and seeing how much it hooks, you may not notice that your ball hooked early, and that's why it was lazy down lane. Pretty much kind of the rule or the thumb is a lot of professionals read the lane front to back.
Yes.
And maybe amateurs or they read the lanes left to right. They're watching their ball hook a lot down the lane, but if you're not paying attention to what it's doing in the front part of the lane, then you may not notice if, my ball's hooking early. I tripped the 4 pin. I went high, kind of like one of Cyrus's shots where it tripped the 6-8 out. Well, maybe it hooked in the front part of the lane. And then he would know, okay, I need to go ahead and move. Even though I'm on a 4-bagger here, or 5-bagger. What do you have? Yeah, 6 in a row, actually.
Yeah.
And the last few went pretty high flush. So I'd be interested to see if he moved it all.
Right.
Even after going 6 strikes in a row.
Sure.
Because the last few were very high flush. So
nice shot by Quinn there, too, on line 9.
That was a nice shot.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, and, this is tough at, an SYC, right? Because part of coming to an SYC is making friends, and we love that about an SYC. So we love that the kids are talking to each other in between frames, especially if they've never met each other. But the one thing is, and I'm sure you do this on tour, even though you might be paired up with people that throw it nothing like you, right? You're still watching what their ball's doing, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so that's helping you make those moves in between frames too. Like you're like, oh man, I'm in the 10th frame. Quinn, the bowler before him, threw more than one shot, right? So those lanes are transitioning more in the 10th frame. If you're the third bowler on the pair, you've got two guys in front of you. There's a lot of shots going down the lanes before you step up.
Yeah, for instance, the person on lane 9, could have 6 shots been thrown before he gets to throw his next shot. So the board, you could move one more board.
Right.
That's typically a rule of mine most of the time, is I'm always going to move in the 10th, just about. I'm going to move one board left. That way I can hit it a little harder versus not. I mean, there for a while, I guess I didn't do it, but now I've switched to finger inserts about a month ago.
I heard about that.
So now I'm back to moving left when I need it because I can hit on it now.
You're like, let's go.
So now it's back to like, if I miss, it's because I'm going high most of the time.
I like it.
And I'll get over that. Whenever I miss because a flat 10 or a 2-pin, that's when I get upset. When I didn't even really give my ball a chance to hook.
So when you were a youth bowler, did you use finger inserts?
No. I've never used finger inserts
This is the first time.
about a month ago when I switched. Yeah,
okay.
First time ever in my career.
Yeah.
In my life, I guess,
All right.
I used my father's equipment,
Oh,
and
gotcha.
he never used finger inserts either. So growing up, I just used his. And
So now
I'm never switching back. Oh no! I bowled 2 tournaments. I bowled the players and the doubles, and then I beat Jesper by 100 in the doubles. But he didn't bowl that good, so I mean, it's not really saying a whole lot.
But you're like, but on the car ride home, you definitely were telling him.
Well, this is the first time that I beat him, and we still made the cut.
Oh yeah. So
Most
you're
of the time
like,
when I beat him, we still flag the cut by 100 because he bowls really bad and I bowl kind of bad. So I pretty much kind of held us up a little bit.
Did you pull the like, hey, my back hurts, Jesper? Like,
No, because
okay,
we finished
good.
12th.
Okay,
we
that's
bowled
fair.
back together in match play.
All right. I do want to give a shout out to Quinn, 267 up there. That's a pretty good start. I'd take that.
Great start. So are these their pin totals as well?
Yes.
Wow,
John
okay.
McCarthy is on it today,
All
and
right.
he's put in the totals overall, so we can see going into that last game where the pins are.
Yeah, so Quinn bowled 267. That got him back to the green. Looks like he's plus 29 for 11 games.
Pretty good.
2,200 would be even score. If they can see, I guess people can kind of see the scores on the live stream.
Yeah.
If they've got good cameras or good.
If I take the scoreboard away, they say they want to see the scoreboard, so I put it up there. But
No, you want to see the scoreboard.
yeah,
I like
I
having the
know. I
scoreboard.
got you. I got you guys.
All
It's hard
right.
to see though.
Good finish there for Aiden, 180. Strike
Really good
spare
finish.
double down the stretch. Our man Dylan, look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, he had strike, bad shot, but then stepped back up with another double.
He really tried to make this pair his friend after the
Yep.
rough start.
So you can look, he had 51 in the 5th, but then he got 153 in the 10th.
Yeah.
So he averaged, he paced 200 down the stretch of that game. So that's a pretty good game.
Yeah, and
Just
he'll
happened
just
to be a rough start to it.
move on to the next pair
Yep.
and do what he did at the end.
I mean, I remember yesterday, Jaden was minus 10 after 2 games, and then going into the 5th game, he was tied for the lead.
Love it.
Never over till it's over.
Never over. Miles here had a rough go the second half, though. I don't know what happened here.
That's a prime example the other way.
That was a good shot.
Turkey, open strike, and then only one spare.
Yeah.
Hey, I think he made a ball change.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that looked like a supernova. He was
You're right.
throwing.
Yeah. Let's see what he put away.
That looked like some radical ball. I guess.
Yeah. He changed balls.
Yeah.
Shout out to, I think he, you know which pro shop he goes to. He's from Columbus. I know the
Wayne
Gordon
Webb's?
Bulls. It is, he's at Jason Lundquist's pro
Oh, okay.
shop.
Lundquist, yeah.
Next Gen. That's
Yep,
what's on
Next
his
Gen, yep.
jersey right now. Shout out to Jason. He's a good pro shop operator in that area for the kids.
Good dude, too.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Yeah, that ball looks good. There we go.
Yeah. He's like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what happened here, but we're just going to forget about that.
Well, you know, this is a prime example of getting tricked maybe because he started with a turkey. So whatever ball he was throwing at the beginning was like the ball, and then maybe it went away, or maybe he
Yeah.
started throwing it different. Like,
That's the thing. Good finish there for Carson Harrell.
yeah, really great.
Little four-bagger down the stretch, 192.
Every pin counts.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Sometimes you can just like dead ace the first few shots with the ball, and it looks perfect. And then, before you know it, you're looking at a few open frames. The other thing is to note there, I do see 2 9-dashes. So that's 2 easy spares that were missed, and I'm not sure what the 9th frame was. So he bowled 180 with 2 9-dashes. So, I mean, that's a 200 game.
Yeah.
If I'm looking back at that game, that's the easy thing to, clean up there. Like, cover my single pins, move on to the next one there. But
Yeah, we, this is as we're going into tournament season for sure.
are you welcome, bud? Yeah, looks good.
As we're going into tournament season, Junior Gold's coming up, the big SYC and Indies coming up, so they've got some big tournaments. It's funny, and you can talk to this, right? When we look up Junior Gold standings, 1 pin separates those places, not a spare. It is
Pin.
a pin. like counts. Like if you're in the 10th frame and you're making a ball change, like if it goes astray and you leave 5, like you want to make that ball change, right? Like you want that fill ball.
Yeah.
But sometimes that 1 count makes a
I mean,
difference.
that's
It's
always
so
a tough
hard.
thing, but I would say to this, most of the time I'm all for being a fan of the ball change.
Me too.
But just make sure when you do make that ball change that there's max focus and effort involved. You're sticking to your process.
Yeah.
You're staying in the moment of that shot, because you could very easily just kind of
Miss it.
relax a
Yeah.
little bit, maybe not give it the full effort, and it buckets.
Yeah.
Like, all right, yeah, I'm just not going to throw that ball, and then there's your 6 count, and you missed the cut by 1. That's always tough. Like, I mean, I remember a bowler, Randy Weiss, out of South Carolina, PBA bowler. He ball changed every fill ball no matter what. No matter what. Because
Yeah.
I remember him telling me, don't worry about me in high game pots or something like that. I was bowling a tournament, because he always ball changes. Like, even if he's on 300 or 279,
Wow. Huh.
because he's going to take that opportunity.
Yeah.
And he gets 6 sometimes, but he does it every single game no matter what. So, I guess that's kind of a personal thing.
Yeah. I think especially
Especially if you know the
Gold's-
situation, like down the stretch, maybe if it's the last game, maybe you definitely want to find out, like, hey, what do I need here?
Yeah.
But sometimes that's also not able to happen.
Well, Junior Gold is the toughest because you only got 5 balls too. Like, what are your 5
Oh
balls
my
in your bag?
God.
I know you were talking to the seminar the other day. You're like, yeah, I have 12 balls. Like 5.
5 balls?
5 balls for they bowl on 4 patterns, I believe, in
Oh
qualifying.
my God. I don't even know what I would do, because
And it's 4 games a round. Like
4 games, 5 patterns.
I think it's 4 pattern. I think
4
it's 4
patterns,
games,
4
4
games,
days.
5
I'm pretty
balls.
sure.
Oh my God.
So a parent will correct me if I'm wrong.
That sounds
It's been a minute.
miserable.
It's been a minute since I was in the Junior Golds. I'm pretty sure. I know it's 4 games, and I think it's 4 days of qualifying. So that's 4 different patterns.
Wow.
5
I'm thinking,
balls.
so if I had to do 5 balls, well, see, here I'd already have to change my game, because I shoot my spares with plastic.
Oh.
But then you have to have a urethane ball, so I guess I would be shooting my spares with my pitch black. So
Okay.
pitch black. So
Can
I'm
I-
already starting about 100 pins behind the 8 ball now, because I don't ever shoot my spares with urethane.
Well, so can I stop you right here? We're just gonna keep going because the bowlers are here. And Kyle, you good? You good? You're good
Yeah.
to say. Okay, good.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. So we talk about this, and Kelly Kulik at one of the seminars said that if you do what you just said, if you're normally, I throw my ice at every spare ball or at every spare, right? And I want the urethane in the bag, and I'm gonna change. Practice it, right?
Practice
like
it,
you
yeah.
would be
Yeah,
at
I
this
would be,
tournament throwing, like, get rid of your ice,
Mhm.
bring your pitch black, and do it in a tournament setting and get
Correct.
used to it, right?
Yep.
Because
Yeah, you may sacrifice this event, but
Right.
if you have Junior Gold coming up and you're going to be using urethane at your spares instead of plastic, 100%.
Yeah,
Definitely got to practice that beforehand.
so you got one ball.
Pitch black. All right. Then I would want some kind of big ASIM. I'm probably going to go with Reality because I feel like that is one of the more versatile asymmetric balls in our lineup.
Okay.
I can use it on medium, long, takes good to surface. Then we're going to need some sort of quicker asym ball, but then I'm also thinking I may take one of my favorites. So I'm probably going to take my Rubicon UC2.
Ooh.
I can throw that a little
Good
slower
ball.
if I need because it
Okay.
is a cleaner asymmetric ball, so it's not going to get super forward or super early on a lot of the patterns. So I
Okay.
got 2 asyms. I got my Reality and my UC2. Probably going to be my good phase 2, a symmetric, solid benchmark ball. And then the last ball, ooh, I don't even know. I mean, do I take a low diff ball? Do I go with like an IQ Ruby or let me think. Junior Gold. It's only 4 people or 4 games. How many on a pair?
I think
6.
they're maxed out. Yeah, I
6
think
on a
it's
pair,
6 on a
maybe?
pair. Yeah.
So only 4 games. Maybe I take something a little bit smoother for that last ball instead of something like crazy whippy off the back end of the pattern since it's only 4 game blocks.
Yeah.
Maybe a Fate.
Okay.
Dark code cover, stronger cover for a, medium RG ball. Yeah, that sounds good.
I like it.
Reality, UC2, Phase 2, Fate.
Well, and all
pitch
of
black.
these SYC bowlers got a fate this weekend, so they could add their fate to their junior gold arsenal if they wanted
There we
to,
go.
based on Kyle's recommendations.
That was
So,
stressful right there.
yeah.
Trying to figure out an arsenal for Junior Gold.
Yeah, and Steve Vetter's in the chat. We were watching Sebi Bowl here. This is a great pair of like these guys. Mateo's a junior gold champ. Sebi, I believe, has made a TV show. Joss has made a TV show at junior gold. Brady, of course, has won junior gold and made a TV show. So Steve mentioned too, and this is a great tip for anyone that's picking these ball arsenals for junior gold, is you can practice with as many as you want. So if you want to travel, if you're driving, for example,
travel
you
with
can
12,
bring more bowling balls into all the practice sessions and then narrow it down to that 5. So you may not have to be on the spot like Kyle is right now, and I'm not going to go down the lane and go, what's your 5 for
Now, if
junior
you're flying,
gold?
then that's kind of
Yeah.
the situation you're in.
Right.
Unless your parents kind of bring some balls for you too.
Yeah,
Like,
man, I
either
don't
way,
know.
yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, so anyway, luckily, Kyle, you don't have to fill out your junior gold ball card. You're good to go. I do think junior gold is one of the toughest tournaments in the game of bowling. I just
by far.
I think it's so hard, and so if you have a junior gold title, that's fantastic. I mean, it's like it's such a
It's
a
just the moment of it all too. There's 2,000 competitors or so
Yeah.
in the big division.
yeah.
I mean, it's on TV. Like, you got to win on TV. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest factors. Is like you then get to bowl on TV as a kid. I could not imagine bowling on television as a kid.
But you
Like-
know what? They always look so cool. Like
Yeah,
like when
like they've
PBA
done it
Junior,
before or something.
like I'm like they don't even look nervous.
I remember winning my first title. Let's see, 2015. So I was 24 years old. Yeah, I was still kind of a nervous wreck on there. And then after I got my first game under my belt, went on to win a few more games.
Yeah.
But I mean, 15, 16 years old, going out bowling on TV, giving it to the crowd too, like, playing with the crowd.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, and your friends are watching. Your parents are. Man, I don't know. Anyway. All right.
But yeah,
so
these
now
kids
that
are good.
they're
especially-
really good.
We got some all-star pairs coming in.
Yeah, we do. So, as we said, Zachary Smeal here, his brother and him are bowling this tournament. I think it's their first SYC. So, welcome to the Smeal brothers.
Pull up some scores.
Got
too.
Mr. Sebi Vetter on this pair. He just returned to bowling. He took a little hiatus to play some basketball, and he's back.
I see Elite Youth Tour. Is that another one of Deandra's
Yes,
kids that bowls?
yes, absolutely.
Right.
He's from that area. It looks like he's
Say-
picked up a champion jersey.
Oh, okay. They get a
Yeah.
champion jersey.
Mr. Brady, the bowling science kid, McDonough. Of course,
He's pretty
he does.
smart, right?
He's incredibly smart.
Yeah.
He does experiments every week on the morning bowl, and he stumps me every week. I'm like, Brady, put him and Alex Hoskins in a room, and then throw in Hank Boomershine, and we just need to leave him alone, and
You're in.
they'll cure cancer or something. Like it's insane. Like
So, I guess a lot of these kids are in the U15 on this pair, right?
Yeah.
Joss and Brady and
Adam Wakely here, he was on the medal stand today. He was our silver medalist
Okay, so
on the medium, yeah.
these scores overall right now after 11 games in the U15 boys. First place is Zane Shaughnessy at
Okay,
12 over,
nice.
and ninth place is Adam Wakely at minus 45.
Yeah.
So ninth place to first place is 57 pins. Yeah. So Zane Shaughnessy,
He is right. He's on lane 11, actually.
Okay,
He's
right
right,
here,
there. Yep.
he's at plus 12. Dylan Barnes plus 8. Gavin Brode minus 4. Joss Weems minus 4. Braden McDonough minus 7. Elliot Gordon minus 14. Mateo minus 20. Rush Steen 22. And Adam. And then our boys Sebastian Vetter at minus 118. A little further back, but
Yeah.
still, I mean, they bowl 5 games today. He's still only 130 pins back.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, these kids can rally off 8 baggers pretty quickly. So
Absolutely.
that is pretty sick. I mean, first to fifth is 19 pins.
Let's go.
So we'll have to keep an eye on that throughout the day. Still a little early right now to be looking at that.
It is.
4 games left. I mean,
Especially on the long, because they strike.
yeah, they like the long.
They
Yeah,
like the long.
kids like the
Usually,
long patterns.
usually they like the long. Usually, for the most part. Now, sometimes we'll have some tournaments that this isn't true. The short is the toughest for kids.
Oh, yeah.
And then medium can be tricky sometimes too, because there's so many different ways you can attack it. And then long, usually people enjoy the long.
See, Brandon Baker, I remember talking to him a little bit in practice session, asking for just a little advice. He kind of was stuck on the short pattern for most of the practice.
Okay.
And, just kind of gave him a little tip of trying to get his hand a little more up the back of the ball. I told him to kind of imagine the ball coming past his hip, like on the way back through, before he tries to rotate the ball.
I like it. It's a good tip.
That's a little kind of nugget, more of like a feel tip. It may work for you, it may not. It's kind of like one of them things that you tell it to somebody. If it clicks for them, it does. And then if it doesn't, it's like, all right, well, you don't have to think about that then. Like,
really, you try.
but yeah, so I guess I could say
by
that
Ethan.
tip. Yeah, that was a good pickup there. I guess a quick tip for two-handers, and it may work for one-handers as well, is try and feel the ball coming past your hip before you go to rotate your hand or to hook it or whatever you want to call it. And that may, in a sense, keep your hand a little more up the back of it and through the ball a little bit better.
There's your nugget from Kyle Troop. Daily nugget. He
There's
might give out a
Landon
couple.
carrying the turkey, giving the little
Turkey dance.
turkey dance. Oh, okay. I was like, what was that?
I think it was a turkey dance. I'm going to go with it. It's a turkey dance.
Sebastian. Nice turkey there. Oh, he had that 4-4. That frame is so dirty, especially if you're in between like 4-bagger. That's a like 48 pin frame right there. Like if you go front 4, 4-4 sheet, that's 258. That's 42 pin frame.
You're like, man, 4.
Yeah, 4-4 can cost you 42 pins.
Wow.
Luckily, it was only on 1 strike for him.
Yeah.
So it only cost him 14.
Man.
Well, I guess 34 technically.
So Garrett Andrews here on lane 8. He's coming for you, Kyle.
Oh, yeah.
He's close to tour.
He had a good finish yesterday, too. He had a
Yeah.
big score. Yeah, using the duo. Him and Jaden Combs. They're both using the duos yesterday.
Yeah, Garrett's from Texas. He hasn't been bowling very long, but he has started getting his feet wet in those PBA regionals.
Okay.
And so he's kind of dabbling. I think he's 18, I want to say. I think he's close to aging out. I could be wrong.
Looks
but
like it.
Yeah. You're like, I hope
Looks
so.
like a pretty grown boy.
Yeah, really. But yeah, I think he's going to try to go, as I jinx him,
Yeah.
but I think he's going to try to go
That's
bowl
awesome.
a little bit
I
on
love to see
tour.
it.
Of course, Brady picked up his first regional title this year.
Yeah, I bet Brady likes the long patterns too.
He does.
Yeah, I mean, he's ripping on it too. I mean,
He usually is always kind of close going into day 3. And if he's close, like Leanne and I were looking at the scores last night, and Leanne said, she goes, Brady's lurking. He's always a lurker.
only 19 pins behind.
That's
yeah.
right. Like, yeah, and he probably started even further back today.
Let's
I don't
see
know what he
shot
shot.
the first game. U15 boys on the long. Well, I guess we could talk about first game scores. Let's see who was starting out great. Mateo. Hang on, my phone's not. Mateo looks like he was leading the first game, 247. Cyrus Uchwal, yep, we've seen that, 232.
Yep.
Adam Wakely, 229. Sebastian, 225. Braden, 205. So there was nine guys, 200 or better
Wow.
in
Okay.
the U15.
Okay. Looks like Mateo. I thought Mateo was on 9 and 10, but he was just talking to his buddies. So he's on 11 and 12. He's doing a ball change here.
Yeah, he's got 9 spare, 6 spare, 8 spare, 7 spare. Oh, we
Oh.
almost got the 210.
Good try, Brandon.
And a bad break there for Greg. 710 on lane 6. Come on, make it, Greg.
Let's do it. I like Josiah.
Yeah, Seb's got a good line there, too.
He does. Josiah here stepping up on lane 8. He's wearing that Kentucky Derby jersey for the I Am Bowling design for Louisville.
That's nice.
That's a pretty cool jersey.
I picked the Derby winner this year.
No way.
Yeah, I did.
That's awesome.
I sure did.
That's
Yeah.
hard to do. Because
Yeah.
sometimes it's kind of random.
Well, so we had a few, like, we asked Aubrey and Caleb who their horse was that they wanted. And
Yeah.
Bree picked a horse. And then I went through and I'm like, Mage. Sounds good. Because there was a game I've been playing on tour a little bit. God of War, some game on Xbox that I downloaded.
Okay.
And it made me think of that game. So I was like, all right, I'm picking Mage.
And
Mage won the Derby.
That's awesome. That's cool. Now, have you ever? Well, you're just moving here. Are you going to go to the Derby one year?
I'm going to try to.
Yeah.
I've been to one race there. It was like a night race, like a month before the Derby. I don't remember the exact name of it, but everybody was dressed up super nice, and
Yeah.
it was cool. I've lost my money, betting the horses,
Of course,
but
yeah.
it was like one race. Like
Yeah.
if we would have got the winner in the one race, then we would have been living large. It would have been great.
You're like,
But instead, we lost all our money and had a great time.
yeah, well, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what you
Hopefully,
do.
I get to go to the Derby, but.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, there's so many people there. Then I may just
know.
enjoy sitting at home watching the race.
That's
Go to like a smaller horse race at the same place.
and you know, because I haven't actually been to an NFL game, but you love the Panthers, right? And you had some tickets, and sometimes
Season tickets.
Yeah, sometimes I always talk about football. Like, sometimes it's better to watch football at home than it is to go to the game unless you're, like, there with the crowd and you're in and, like, the environment is great. But if you love watching, I don't think I'd ever want to go to the Super Bowl. Because I think I'd
Yeah.
rather watch it on TV because there's no way you can,
Now
like,
I
Yeah.
don't know if I'd really want to go to the Super Bowl. I can't believe I just said that, but yeah.
you're like, wait a minute. I think I do want to go if there's an opportunity.
Yeah,
Like,
who am I talking?
yeah,
Like, I don't
really.
know what you're talking about, Blair.
Yeah,
I want to go to the game.
Yeah, you're like maybe if there's like a box, I don't know. Anyway, because you could like go get a box, right? Like,
I mean, I could. I mean, I'm too cheap for that. Like, I ain't paying that much money to go to the game.
well, you never know. You could get an invite. New sponsor.
Yeah. Anybody got seat tickets out there in the NFL?
Not really.
Or box seats?
Yeah. You just maybe you'll get lined up with one of these awesome outside sponsors. You never know.
Yeah.
You got
I
some
mean, who
good
we got?
sponsors right now.
Yeah. I mean,
Raise is one of the
Well,
sponsors
Raise
of
Eyewear,
the
yeah.
SYC.
looking on here who I can call. Let's see.
Yeah.
Carol Norman's Pro Shop. Yep,
Yeah.
maybe I'll call her.
Yeah.
Donna Connors may have some tickets.
There you go. Yeah. Maybe
To the
Donna,
to the Houston Texans.
We got a
Let's
new,
go watch the Texans play.
giveaway in the Lucy. Get some football tickets.
There we go.
Just kidding. Totally kidding. But this is a great time to thank our supporters. We have great supporters of the SYC. I Am Bowling is fantastic. They've been with us since the beginning. They are here at every SYC. They bring a ton of gear, like T-shirts, pullovers, all of it. And they support the SYC by giving back into the scholarship fund.
I've seen that. So I am sponsored by a different company,
Sure.
but I've been to several SYCs. The merch is crazy here. They have all kinds of awesome looking stuff. But yeah, 25% of the sales, I guess, go like the on-site sales from this weekend.
Yes.
Goes into the scholarship
Yeah,
fund. I
it
mean,
goes
that's
right
huge.
back. Yeah.
Just for quick business, that's a lot of people. That's probably most of a lot of businesses' profits that they're
Yeah.
just kind of donating back. Like,
Exactly.
so that just shows, they have a good heart and mind as well. You know, they're kind of in it. I believe
Yeah.
they have the same image as Storm does. And, you know,
Yeah, Bill and Barb.
raising money for these kids and, you know, wanting to provide scholarships and opportunities to bowl and learn and just the whole message of it all.
Yeah,
Glad to have them on board.
SYC is all about giving back. Bill and Barb are all about giving back, and Kenny and Kathy Keegan, they're all about giving back too. So we really appreciate them. My funny this year, we made a T-shirt that says "No Fry Zone," and the first tournament we took it to, the kids don't know what a fry is.
What are you talking about?
Like
a fry?
like a fry on the lane. Yeah, they don't know. They don't know that term. I had to make a sign this time to define it. Like, there's a sign on the wall that's a definition of frying out, because apparently that term, they don't know it.
What do they call it? Because I
don't
know
know.
they fry out too.
I see them, right? Like, like I made this T-shirt, and Shannon Plowski comes to me at one of the tournaments, PWBA champ, who comes the SYCs when Kenny and Kathy can't make it. This year they have their son is graduating. I think this weekend their son is actually graduating from high school. So shout out to them. But we got Shannon Plowski in the building, and she came to me at one of the tournaments, and she goes, "Hey Blair, kids don't know what no fry zone means." And even Shannon was like, "I don't know how they don't know."
That's wild.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, well.
So it made me sit back and go, "Man, I'm old."
I guess all these kids are just angels. They don't ever get mad.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
No fry zone here.
Yeah. No fry zone.
So we got Joss here. Wow. That's a pretty good one there. That was in, but working on 240. Zach Smeal working on 270. Ethan. Little high flush. Can't get the 10 out of the 410. That's frustrating there.
Yeah.
That's pretty frustrating.
Good spare by Joss. Looked a little right, but
Yeah, he was working that thing out too. He's a little upset he left it. That was pretty good too.
Yeah.
The other 10 pin he left. Yeah, I watched the rotation of the ball a lot, and the other 10 pin in the third frame had a lot more side rotation on it. So,
gotcha.
and it missed in, and he left the 10. That one, that was a much better shot. It missed in, and it still left the 10. So then you could see him kind of just punching at it when he made it. Sometimes you got to let the 10 pin know who's boss.
I like it. I like it.
Good shot there from Weston.
Weston.
Oh, that thing took off a little bit down the lane.
You know what? Weston, he made it in off the waiting list, and his game's gotten a ton better since the last time we've seen it. His rotation
How about I say that
really,
was
really
solid
good,
there.
right?
Yep.
Like, so I can tell he's been working. Keep working, Weston. Shout out to his mom, who didn't make it with the boys this weekend, but or at least I haven't seen her. She might be in Louisville. She might just be having fun and not going to the bowling center. I don't know. She's watching at home. So. Oh, he tried. Did you see that pin try to bounce out?
Mm-hmm.
I saw that, Weston.
Nathan Smeal, I guess Zachary's brother, over on lane 11.
Yeah, you get
Trying
a
to save a little rough start again. Similar to Dylan the first game, but bouncing back with a turkey. So.
Let's go.
Sebi Vetter.
Yes, good old Sebi.
I think he 3-6-10 on that shot.
How good does he throw it? Man.
And now you're done with the left lane, bud.
He's like, good.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Like, yeah, I'm good. I'm done with that lane.
Yeah. At 4. Garrett just can't get comfy. He's got double, and then it seems like either like that one he might have missed or
I think it was a little
missed in.
slow. I think he's caught in like ball speed, like trying to decide how hard or slow to throw it because that was a good shot, but
Yeah.
just looked kind of slow and kind of looked confused. Like,
Just can't get comfy. It's got a couple doubles, but nothing else.
got some stress balls being bounced around. Kids relaxing in between frames. That's the other nice thing about Kingpin lanes. Ton of space.
So much
Yeah,
space.
you got these comfy couches and big bowler's pit area for them to just hang out.
Chill.
Toss around a stress ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get your mind off of the bowling a little bit.
Ah.
Yeah, because I'm sure right now as these kids are bouncing around a stress ball that they'll flip back into their process when it's their time to bowl.
Oh,
You know,
yeah, 100%.
that's the important thing is, as long as you click that process back on, then whatever your process entails to do in between frames is whatever kind of keeps you focused or not focused.
Well, I think sometimes, we joke because we forget they're kids, right?
That too.
They're kids. Like, these kids are under 15 years old. So they're, they step on the lanes and they look like mini pros, but they're kids. Like, they want to go bounce the ball. After it's
I can
done, they're like
definitely
in the
relate.
arcade.
Like, I've got a, one of them little pop-it things in my bag. I've got a stress ball in my bag. I've got a poop emoji rosin bag in my bag. Like,
Yeah.
I've got all kinds of little things to play with because I need to distract myself too when I'm bowling sometimes.
Right.
So.
Yeah, sometimes you do need that, especially in a game where
Brady
you're like,
making a big move. Moved right. Caught the Brooklyn, so all right.
yeah, he's
Now
thinking.
oh yeah, that brain's cooking right now.
Yeah, really. There's
Yep.
like smoke coming out. Yeah, so they're hooking. Joss's ball just went high, but he struck.
Yep.
He'll
That's
take
a little
that.
left. He'll take that. Got a couple yeah. 5. Everybody pacing over 200
Yeah.
on 9 and 10. Teo still kind of grinding along, covering his spares.
Yeah. His ball just went a little light.
Got
So
James. James Drabel.
Drehobel, I think it's Drehobel.
He had the front 6 on lane 6.
Pretty good.
The fast 8. Ethan Caruso with spare 5-bagger. Smooth two-handed delivery there.
Ethan
Nice
is
shot on
he's
lane 5.
getting close to aging out. I'm not sure if this is his last year. I think it is his last year at SYC's, and he came up yesterday and he goes, "Haven't gotten a medal yet, but I think the long is going to be good." That's what he told me yesterday. I'm
All
like,
right.
that's
Heck
optimistic.
yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Garrett with a ball change. Looked like maybe went to a trend 2.
Yeah. Maybe
Something a
he's
little
just
cleaner. I think he was throwing phase 2 before.
trying to get a little comfy.
Yep.
He's like, I need to get
Oh.
comfy.
Adam with a whiff spare in the 10th. 224.
Bummer. Good game, though.
Yeah. Little momentum killer there, but you just got to try and be happy with your 24 pins of plus and get more the next game.
Yeah. Brutal.
And he had to change the score himself, so it just sticks it in there a little bit more. But
Sounds
still,
like
good
you've
game
been
for
there,
Adam.
Kyle.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like
It sucks. It sucks.
Kyle's got you
But
back, Adam.
Good game, Adam.
Yeah.
224. He was, let's see, I'm going to peek at the standings again.
He was silver on medium, so he has to be pretty.
Yeah, and he had
I would say-
229 the first game
Yeah.
on this pattern, so Joss here, 246 possible.
Ooh.
Looked like he made a move there, too, so now he could probably just watch his speed here.
Well,
Second one of the
he just
10.
went high, and that one, I think you're right. I think he did make a move. But that's like we
Joss
talked
is
about
good.
the first
I'm-
game,
I'm
right?
a fan of Joss.
So-
I follow him on Instagram.
Love it. So Joss was striking, and I just said on that last shot he struck, but it was high. And remember we talked about moving even when you're striking? I'm pretty sure you're right. I think Joss did make a move.
Because then he carried the 5 out, so it went a little lighter. Now, should just watch the speed. Oh, yeah. That's
There-
it. Oh,
Ah,
a little
got
too
a little-
far out.
yeah, he knew it.
Hey, 230. Another good game. Just want to pull up the overalls to see. Yeah, Adam was minus 45, so 224. That'll get him a little closer. Joss Weems was minus 4. Zane having a little bit of a struggle this game, so it looks like he may fall down a little bit. Dylan.
Dylan has some splits over there too.
Yeah,
Doesn't
Joss
look
may
like.
be your new leader for a little bit.
Oh, little leader change.
The
Leader
overall
change?
leader, yeah. Well, yeah,
They'll be
him or
close,
Braden, because they're
yeah.
3 pins apart, and Braden can beat him by 2. So yeah, they're going to be right there. But looks like Joss may be your New early leader in the U15 overall.
And what's fun is these three boys, right? And you can't really see them because they're shorter than the cameras, which is perfectly fine for me because,
Now we can see.
Yeah, but Mateo, Josh, and Brady, they started bowling SYCs.
I mean, I remember these kids
together.
when they were like
they were tiny.
a couple feet tall.
Yeah, they all were in U12, and Mateo lives in like just outside of Nashville. Josh lives in Chicago. Brady lives in Texas.
Wow.
And they are best friends.
That's crazy.
So it is just like the story of bowling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your friends can be all over the country, and what you have in common is bowling. And these guys have been beating each other since they were U12.
In all kinds of tournaments,
yeah.
too. Like,
and I loved it because there was one tournament where Joss and Mateo were leaving, and Teo, oh, hang on a second. I got a Sebi report. Sebi is enjoying the cake. We're gonna hook up Sebi with some Granny Mills cake for sure.
Granny Mills Kentucky cake.
Yeah. Joss was leaving, and I think Joss had won, and Mateo was like silver, and Joss said to me, he goes, yeah, I'm really happy I got the gold, but I really like bowling with Mateo better because I like it when we can win together. And I'm like, this is like, and he was like 10. Like he was so young, like 11 maybe. I'm like, oh my gosh, like who says stuff like that?
We don't hear that on tour.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Yeah, so someone's asking about the scores. They are available on bullmetrics.com. I think I can drop the link in here. Sometimes I can.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's drop this in. Here is.
Jumping
Oh wait.
like hot.
Yeah, exactly. Now you're gonna make us sound old. These kids don't know what song that is.
I bet they do. All right, Braden here, stepping up in the 10th. Made that move and went Brooklyn in the 9th. Looks like he split the difference, so.
He didn't.
And you could see, like, Mateo's hands went on his head.
Yeah.
Joss is sitting there. Yeah, so they're like all riding and dying together right now in the middle of the tournament. Hey, look at him. Joss is upset right now because he's big forward.
They literally root each other on.
That's
Someone
crazy.
else can
Love
be
it.
winning, and they're like, so, I mean, it's just awesome. Like, I love it. Now, what was I going to say? There was something I was going to say.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was going to say that, did you know that these kids think the 90s music is oldies? That's what they'll tell you. And I'm like,
Oldies.
you just crushed my entire, like, they told me that one day. They're like, that's oldies music. The Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. I'm like, oldies?
Oldies? Wow.
like, what?
All right.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, Kyle. It's fine.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a pretty good pair there, even with a couple rough finishes in the 10th. I mean, 220, 230, 190, 230, 230, 220.
Yeah, low gain 190. That's a good pair.
That's a good pair.
Landon, I just saw Landon was wearing a Ninja Turtles jersey. How did I miss that?
Oh, he was given the on the 3 in a row too.
Oh yeah, the turkey dance,
yeah,
right?
The turkey dance,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I missed I saw the front of the jersey. I just realized it's Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
he doesn't think 90s music is old if he's wearing Ninja Turtles jersey.
He's cool. Yeah, he's cool.
We'll keep Landon around.
Carter Baylog can max score 237.
Nice.
Purple Hammer up the gutter.
Oh. Gets it to go.
That was a trend too that Garrett switched to.
Okay.
Working on a double here. It's clean, just so smooth through it. Like, he don't fall off balance very much, I bet.
He doesn't.
No, that's a pretty solid game right there.
And he has not been bowling very long. I think I said that earlier. Like maybe 3 years, maybe. But that's the thing. I mean, and I would say your generation of two-handed bowlers learned a lot from kind of YouTube and like video and stuff. But this next generation, they are watching bowling all the time.
They're watching and getting to bowl a lot.
Yeah. And you're like, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, slow down.
The more you can bowl, the more dangerous it is.
Yeah.
I think Ethan Caruso is working on 290 also.
Oh.
He'll be getting up next on lane 6. That's a big score alert.
So, see, now this brings us to another one of our great supporters. Never Give Up Scholarship is in play today. PBA Junior donated an extra scholarship at each event. So, the gold medalist of each division on the long pattern gets a bonus scholarship.
Wow. Okay.
And it's the Never Give Up Scholarship. So, you could have been having
For the
a
final block,
brutal
yep.
tournament, right? Short, medium, you're like 200 out of it. And then you just come in and you're like, you know what? Going out with a bang. And you can win
I
that
like that.
scholarship.
Heck
and
yeah.
so it was cool. I think Leanne came up with that idea, and I think it's great. She worked
No,
with the
I think that's
PBA
a great
Junior,
idea.
and yeah, it's awesome.
So Carter finished up with 226. Garrett here about to max out. Let's see if he changes balls again. No, looks like he said, I'm good with the trend
this.
too. I'm
And
going to
just-
get a little further right, see what
Ooh.
happens. Shapes up
Ooh.
just fine.
That looked good.
221.
He'll take it.
He's 167 over. He's in U18, right?
Yes, he
Let's
is.
go ahead and
Yeah.
flip over there and see what we got.
Allison's up here. She's rooting on Brandon Baker, rooting him on to a strong finish. He's got a solid game going. He's had some splits.
Yeah, those splits just kind of slow you down a little bit. But
Yeah.
there we go. Oh, yeah.
Gets that.
Got
Yeah.
the first one. So
What
let's
was
see.
it?
Garrett was 6th place, and then both 221.
Ethan. 10th frame, 10 pin. Still great game here.
Oh, we 10 pin. I missed it.
Yeah, and it was a good shot.
And
It
then
was
Look at that.
good.
And James 278 on the same pair, going right here into the 10th. Wow. Strikes are
18
coming.
boys.
Strikes are coming. Yeah, let's see. Who else? Who is that over there? James.
Who are we looking at?
I was just looking for James and Ethan to see where they were at overall.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Like-
James Drehobel and then Ethan Caruso.
Ethan was minus 13, so this is going to be a big boost for him.
Yep. Get that
Hopefully
10
covers
pin.
the 10.
You got it.
There
No
we
problem.
go. 269. And James Drehobel. Yeah, another big game needed. That's going to get him to plus as well. So, hey, these guys are coming for that never give up scholarship too.
They're like, you know what? We don't give up. That's our motto.
Right now we have Jaden Combs, Griffin Jordan, Landon Jordan, your top 3 in the U18.
That's gonna be a race.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Jaden yet today.
He's
but,
over here.
okay.
He's on lane 5. He's got 213 max.
Okay.
And then Griffin and Landon, I'm sure, are coming shortly after. They're normally to the left of him. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see Landon down there.
Yeah. Landon.
Has 213 max going into the
Yeah.
9th.
Those splits are wrecking these games today. That's what I keep seeing red circles up there.
Good game for James, 267. Caruso, 266. Another good one there.
All right, so we're gonna take a really short break. It looks like we have a couple of frames before the bowlers are gonna make it here. Kyle, I don't know if you're coming back this game. You're like, I'm
Sure.
in. You're doing great, so I hope you stay. So we'll be right back, and we'll watch some more bowling.
Let's do it.
All right, we are back. Did someone hit my camera? I think someone hit my camera. Hold on a second.
Oh,
BRB.
see you, Blair. I'm back. What up, everybody? Here we go. I think we got some U18 boys now coming on this pair. Got Nick sweating out a 4-pin. Just went running by.
All right. It's a little better, but we're going to have to fix that after the next game. Okay, so we are watching another good group of bowlers.
U18.
U18, they here.
Here we just seen Trey Henrik something.
Ooh, Trey. Trey was a medalist. He
Gold.
was in that. He
Won the gold yesterday in
He
that
came out of
shootout.
nowhere. Yeah. He wasn't even tied. And then he's like, you know
Yeah,
what?
somebody told me, like, yeah, Landon, yeah, because I was talking to Jaden. Jaden was like, yeah, I bowled 220. It wasn't enough. Landon had 230. And then I gave Landon the silver, and I'm like, well, who won the gold?
Yeah, that was Trey. Trey was like, you know
That was
what?
funny. I guess
I'm good. Just going to
Landon
shoot.
and Griffin were like, who?
Yeah, it was good.
Fun little jokes between the kids, too.
Well, and then
Yeah, he said he
Griffin.
had 268 the last game.
Yeah, and Griffin had this crazy 9-pin that literally a pin went past the 9-pin, hit the deck, bounced back up, and knocked it out. That was,
Ooh.
and he needed that 9-pin to get onto the podium. Or he needed that strike. Like, no, it was good. He got it. He got it. Yeah,
He
yeah,
got
yeah.
the- okay,
It
That's
tapped
right.
him out.
He got the bronze.
Yeah. Double tap of the 9-pin to
Ooh, okay.
yeah, it was good. He goes, yeah, I went back to the live stream and clipped that. He was like, I needed that. So we're gonna watch Griffin and Landon. Anthony Hornick, his coach DJ Archer. I don't know if you have ever heard of him.
Yeah, a little bit. I've worked with Anthony some.
Yeah,
Well,
Anthony's a
being
good
from
bowler.
the Mooresville area. Yep.
He's a nice kid. His
Great kid,
family's
yeah.
nice. So, we love the Hornicks. Weston Metz here. I think yesterday he had a whole fan club in the chat, so I'm sure Weston, the Mets, will be back. Hello, Mets.
Pull up some scores, see if these are going to be updated. U18 boys. Yep, looks like it's. No, it's not updated yet. Now it is.
Declan Mitchell here. Another really sweet kid. Nice shot. I forget which college he's going. Let me see if he filled out a bio, because he is going on to a good university.
Who was that you were talking about?
Declan, who just struck on lane
Declan,
9.
okay.
He's from Raleigh, Buffalo Lanes.
Oh, yeah, Buffalo
bowler.
Lanes. Oh, that's a dirty shot from Landon on lane 10.
I'm pretty sure. Well, this is fun. So Declan has been and is still working on a giant video essay series on every televised 300 in PBA history, where he covers the obscure details and interesting facts most people wouldn't know about one of the rarest events in professional bowling.
Well, that's pretty cool.
And I want to say he's going to the Savannah Art and Design School. What's the
SCAD.
SCAD,
Yep.
yes. I want to say he's going to SCAD, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that's
I'm
with
pretty sure.
what, Mike Kahn and Katie Thornton?
Yes.
Yeah.
I could be
Great
wrong.
school there.
I need to check with Declan, but I'm pretty sure that's where he's going.
A gesture there of a long day for one of the kids.
Just like, really? Really?
Oh,
Nice shot by Josh.
great shot
Ruslana.
there from Josh.
He probably got a little more sleep today. He was the one who graduated from high school Friday, drove all the way here, got in at 3:30 in the morning,
Oh,
and then bowled
wow.
10 games.
Okay, yeah.
His deal with his mom was the only way that he was going to get to bowl this SYC was he had to go to his graduation and walk because he wanted to skip. But, you know,
Of course, yeah.
graduation for moms, and it really is for your mom and dad, youth bowlers.
There'll be more bowling tournaments, too.
There you go.
Yep.
Wise words from Kyle. So
But hey, he got both of them in, so props to him. He did them both.
his mom made a deal with him. She goes, I will drive you. I don't care what time we get in. you just have to go to your graduation. And so he did.
Oh, bounce the Greek church out off the rake.
So the Jordan, Tony has been waiting for 2 days to watch both Griffin and Landon, and
There
she's
we
got
go.
it. We're here for you. We're here for you. Sorry the camera angles are not excellent, but you can watch Landon and Griffin both. Grady Longnecker, I think his dad is going to be watching. And some other friends from back home. I like his Team Shark jersey. Shout out.
Team Shark.
Let's go.
What is it? Shark or Tiger?
Yeah, the Morning Bolt.
Yeah.
I think you're Team Tiger.
Yeah, I ain't getting no. I ain't dying from no shark. Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you rather be attacked in the wild by a tiger or a great white shark in the
Griffin
ocean?
rolling the deuce out there. It's a big break for Griffin. Roll
Wow.
the 2-pin.
Griff's like, I got this.
Yeah,
I got it. I'm
got
calm,
this.
cool, and collected.
Yeah. See if he scores it. Loving the physical reactions when the pins go down. So epic.
Oh, I was wrong. Newman University. Thank
Newman
you.
University.
Thank you, CJ. I appreciate it. I knew it was a school that has a bowling team. Newman's great. Couldn't remember. I thought maybe the video thing, SCAD, for some reason that was in my head. But Newman's great. Billy Murphy, awesome coach there. Caleb Andy's working with the kids there. So we love Newman.
I was going to say, I'm not too familiar with Newman University. But
Newman is it's in Wichita, Kansas.
oh, okay.
So you always hear about Wichita, but Newman, they are there, and they are there to bowl.
All right. Newman, I hear you. Well, best of luck at Newman.
Yeah.
We got some scores here.
Ooh, let's go.
We got the score update. Actually, I just knocked off of it. So U18 boys.
Which is what we're watching.
Yep. Jaden Combs, who is
To the
now
right
a
of
little bit.
us.
Yeah, he's to the right of us now. We kind of missed him on the cameras, but he is leading the overall at
Okay.
plus 251.
Nice.
A little bit of a gap. Drops the second. Keaton Ostrowski
Okay.
at 190.
Keaton is just to the left of the live stream, so we can see him. He's got a turkey.
Yeah, so 251 and 190. And then Landon Jordan, 189. Griffin Jordan, 179. Garrett Andrus, 167.
Ooh.
Trevor Ashby, 146. Zachary Smullen, 138. Trey Henriksmeyer, 133. Nathaniel Vanderbeck, 104. And Braden Maskley, 100. So
Tight.
Jaden's got a little bit of a cushion, 60 pins on second, but then after that, there's about 7 guys within 50 pins. So still very close in the U18 boys division.
And there's one thing for sure. Things can change quick because they can strike.
That they can. I mean, right over here on 5 and 6, we got front 3, Josh Morgan. Awesome USA jersey.
Front 4.
Front 4. Then we got Evan Nowak.
I love to see this because Evan had a rough go on the medium pattern. He just never really matched up. And now, I was going to say we were going to go 4-bagger, but
And then we
just
got
got that one.
Xavier front 3. I mean, all 4 of those guys front 3. Yeah, Keaton. I guess that's Keaton Ostrowski.
yeah,
Okay.
he's the one that's in second.
So he's in second place. So we got a couple people near the top. Hornick. A little struggles a little bit on this pair. Is he still throwing the eternity? Yep.
Yeah.
I wish I would have watched a few of those shots. Didn't really see them. Ooh, Braden with the front 4 on lane 7. Yep.
Man, I'm telling you, there's
Here's
some
where I feel
striking.
like this is when you can get your score on the longer patterns is, after a couple games, the lanes aren't too crazy broken down yet, but there's definitely a lot of bounce if you're playing a little further left. And this tends to be the games where you can get caught in transition or, really kind of get the score. As you can see, unfortunately for our guy Anthony, 7-5-7, so he's getting caught on the other side of the transition.
Yeah, so he might be too far right? Like
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember seeing his first shot, and it was fairly too far right. Like he just needs to make a big zone move. I mean, he was.
Look at Griffin.
Yeah, look at him working it out.
Griffin throws it so good.
He is. So, I mean,
Yeah.
and he was closer to around 20. So, I know I seen Anthony's first shot, and it looked like it was around 13, 14.
Yeah.
I didn't see his next 2, but I would imagine this next frame he's going to be a lot closer to the 4th arrow. just because 44 feet, you will tend to start getting further left, closer to the head pin, bouncing it off of the track area. Keaton, two-handed lefty. Wait, that's the kid I talked to yesterday. Oh, yeah.
He's his bud's Jesper. I mean, not your bud's Jesper, but
Yeah,
his favorite pro bowler is Jesper.
I talked to him yesterday during my break, the third game when I was walking around. He said, Kyle, can I come talk to you for a sec? Can I vent to you for a sec? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I led the first day, and I wasn't, I'm not 20180 or so with the urethane, kind of struggling. I'm in the IQ now. I'm doing all right. And, I was like, well, you can't win it today.
Yeah.
So, just find your process, settle back down. And I looked up, and he had open four-bagger.
Oh, man.
So if I would have seen he had the four-bagger, I would have stopped talking way before. Because then the next one went in the gutter, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like I just messed him up. He got out of his process. Like, he was already back in it. He had a four-bagger going. But
So Kyle, we need to do something with Keaton after it's over. Because, he's still going to be collecting a medal, I believe.
Yeah.
But we're going to grab Keaton, and we're going to do a video, and we're going to chat with your buddy Jesper. Because Jesper's his favorite bowler.
Yeah.
And we're going to send it to Jesper.
Okay.
And we're going to tell him, like, dude,
Maybe
Keaton's coming for you.
Maybe we just FaceTime him.
Oh, that's even better. That'd be fun. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we can make something happen for Keaton.
Jesper probably be taking care of baby Mira, but it's okay.
She's so pretty. What a pretty girl. Jesper daddy now.
Missed
Look at
another
this.
shot at Anthony's. High again. Oh.
But it's high. No. Man. It's got to have gone high, right? It's got to.
Yeah, 310. Yeah, that's probably gone high again.
Yeah.
Oh, Tyler hanging on, skinnying the 10 pin out.
All right, so
Griffin and Braden, front four.
So Griffin here, our friend Griffin. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Landon. Both of the Jordan boys, for the record, work incredibly hard at their game, right? Landon has had some success at junior gold. He's won a couple times. He's won a PBA junior title. He's definitely had some, he's got some trophies. Griffin works incredibly hard at the craft. And I hope Landon and Griffin both go on and bowl on tour. But it reminds me a little bit of the Tang brothers, where like Mikey had a ton of success when he was a youth bowler. And Darren was working really, really hard at his game and kind of like,
yep.
yeah. So then it's kind of switched a little bit now. Mikey still is fantastic and can win any day now.
Darren's got a little more craft.
Darren always gives him crap on like when we get Darren on the morning bowl or anything. We're like, who practices more? And Darren's like, me. like all the time, like. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see like what the Jordan boys, whether it is similar later.
How old are they?
I think they're both like 16.
16. Okay.
Yeah. Let's look. I'm pretty sure they're 16. Well, Grandma's in the chat. She would know. Tony, they're 16, right? Pretty sure. I know Griffin drove down here. That creeped me out. I'm like, what?
What?
Griffin drove Landon and Gianna and because their parents work in the schools, so they were like finishing up the last day of school or whatever. And they showed up and they're like, I was like, who brought you? And they're like, Griff. I'm like, what? I've known you guys since you were kids. They're 16.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And shout out to their dad, Tony. He's awesome. He coaches a few of the youth bowlers, and I've
seen him around here.
Yeah,
coaching.
and what I love about that too, because every once in a while you'll have a coach that is either a dad or like he comes to all of the events, and if another bowler asks him a question, he's like I'm here to help. Like he told me the one year, Landon was bowling really well in junior gold, and there was like this match that a youth bowler just didn't make the right lane play decisions in the moment. And Tony told me, he goes, yeah, I sat down with the bowler after and kind of went through like, hey, here's what you should do next time. And I love that because it's
awesome.
Like it's about educating everyone.
Yep. I mean, that's the 3 stages of bowling. You've got preparation, execution, during it, and then the reflection part afterwards.
Yeah.
That's where some people tend to forget or neglect is the reflection part.
Yeah.
That's not too great.
Uh-oh.
Ripping some tape off his
Oh,
finger.
no.
Front 6, so I guess he's hanging in there, but
Ugh.
it's a big
Don't
game
like
for
to see
Braden
it.
too right now. He's only
Huge.
plus 30. The front 6. Our man Griffin sitting in 3rd place right now overall in the U18. Plus 179. How's Jay? Ooh. Jaden's in a little trouble this
Uh-oh.
game.
I see some red.
Yeah.
Landon.
Jaden has 96 in the 6th with a strike, so he's only got 216 max with a lot of game left, so this may be getting a little closer
Here we go,
with 2
Griff.
games to go.
6 frame. And we got 6 strikes.
And the ball's going right through the 8 pin too. Like, it's not like it's just striking. It's striking confidently.
Do you want to bowl against Griffin and Landon?
No, definitely not. No.
You're like, I'm out.
Nope.
Have fun.
Nope. I will not bowl till I get back from Mexico. Working bowling this weekend, but I am not bowling.
All right. Anthony. Now that looked good. See, we should have just been watching every shot he threw. Maybe we're the missing piece there.
Oh, yeah.
We got Mr. Josh. Little Nova action. Good shot.
Yep.
Yeah, this 7 and 8 pair is nice.
Yeah, I guess Griffin is helping out Braden over here,
That's
taping his fingers up.
I'm telling you, perfect example, right?
I mean,
Like,
this is crazy. He's about to try some new finger tape on the front 6. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I guess he's got something going on with his finger right now.
yeah.
But yeah, that's just an example. There you go.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
Bowlers helping each other. You know.
That's what you get. I mean, it's so fun. Like, these youth bowlers, we call it a community, and it is. That's all it is. Nice shot by Landon. Turkey.
Yeah, he had a nasty blower 7 too in the second frame on this pair, so he should have 279 going. The bowling gods definitely took 10 pins away from him. So
Those bowling gods. Some days they're on your side, some days they're not. Nice pickup by Declan.
oh. All right, so Braden.
Braden, yep.
Yep.
I know, we got Braden and Brady and
Braden stepping up. Let's see, trying new
Trying this
finger
tape.
tape. Yep.
yeah,
Said
throwing an
it's gonna
absolute.
be all right. Yeah. Anthony Hornick, did he get the double? Yeah.
He's smiling. He's like,
Finally.
I
Oh, boy.
made the move.
Oh boy. Trey got a little bit of inside out there. Lucky to leave the 128 though.
It's definitely some OB
Fairly
on this
makeable
long
spare.
pattern.
Yeah, you get it outside of 5, she ain't coming back. But I feel like anywhere from like 7 to 12.
It's money.
Just
money
get it
right
somewhere
now.
around there, or even further left than that. There's a little bit of hold. If you're far enough left, you know, I mean, Griffin's ball's not even getting right of the second arrow down lane, so there's a little fallback going in there.
Yeah. Oh, Braden. Now, the tape
Okay,
and kept going. Why not?
front 7,
I like
switch
it.
tape. That's pretty sick right there.
That was really good. That is really hard to do.
Yeah, because I seen him asking Griffin, like, how do I tape it? And, you know, what do I do with this stuff pretty much? Slaps it on, throws the strike. Oh, that's what I hate right there. Weston shooting the washout. It just wraps around the 6 and the 10.
Could have gone. Could have. Another bowling god
Peeking it.
not helping.
I'm peeking at our U18 leader down here on lane 14 at
Yeah.
96 in the 6th.
Ooh.
Struck in the 7th. 10 pin in the 8th.
Ugh.
So he's down to 196 max. Griffin 70 pins behind him with the front 6. Landon 60 pins behind him. Yeah,
This is going to change a lot today, folks.
it's going to get close the last
yeah.
couple games.
Yeah, now, Kyle, let's tell our fans. So, obviously, you're doing great commentating. We love you here. But next game, John McCarthy, who is the GM of Kingpin Lane's, gonna pop in, give some commentary, and then Game 5, you're coming in for the close. We're gonna talk about some pairs now. Unfortunately, I think the U20 boys are gonna be away from us, so we need like a lane side reporter.
Do you have lane talk here? Yeah, we do. We have lane talk here.
Okay,
Yeah,
oh
we
no
could just pull up
way!
Lane
Shout out to
Talk.
our
Yeah.
friends at Lane Talk. You know, Lane
Yeah.
Talk. We need to get Lane Talk part of the SYC, which I think we can make happen at the Bull Expo. But we love Lane Talk at Storm. We are total. We love this system. It costs nothing. There you go.
Oh, and now we're switching.
It costs nothing for proprietors to add this to one of your systems. And like what I love for you guys on tour, you guys have all your stats. Like it just pulls in, right?
And then we got all the bowlers live today, bowling right now. So yeah, download the Lane Talk app. You can follow live scoring.
That's great.
Any pair right now. Oh, that's a big break for Landon.
See, now the bowling gods came back around. You said earlier they didn't help him. That one.
And he got the break back.
Yeah.
So that's why you got to stay patient with the bad breaks and the good breaks, because they all even out over time.
They do.
Or you're just like a man Griffin over here and just seven shots straight back. 10 back.
Brady is having some OB issues. He needs to either like straighten up a little bit, maybe a ball change, like something. It's got to change something up over here because he's not throwing it. You know what I always try to tell the kids, because some of them go back and watch back, right? Brady, it's not you this game. You're just kind of in this rough little zone. Let's make a move. Let's make a change.
Oh boy, I don't know about that. Oh, oh. He knows his ball reaction a little more than I do. That one looked a little left, but
All right, and Brady got that
good
pickup.
spare for
Yeah.
Brady though. Clean it up a little bit.
Griffin's like, I got this. Griffin looks
Front
so
eight for
cool right
Griffin.
now.
He's ready. Yeah.
He's like, whatever.
That's when you're matched up. You know, that's the goal. The goal is not to be dead perfect and hit the exact same mark every time. It's to have the ball reaction to give you the most room of error. That was a couple boards left down lane. Griffin did his little step out, a little high step with his right foot, and it held flush. So, you know, he's matched up. Same thing with Braden.
Yeah.
You know, front seven, kept them all pretty fairly in line with each other. But it makes the swing just a little bit easier when you know you've got the right ball, got the right line. Then it's just about sticking to the process and just executing shot after shot.
Well, and I think that is a misconception, right? Like, if you feel like you have to be perfect, you might not be in the right part of the lane, right? Like, if you're like, oh, I have to throw it perfect.
You're either not in the right part of the lane, or you're not throwing the right ball, or you're throwing it too hard or too slow. I mean, there's about three factors there. That's a great shot from Josh, too.
That was really good.
That was a little further right than some of his other ones. Came back, slapped the 10. Matched up. Tyler, big curve, laying it down on the left gutter. I mean,
Trey.
that ball was, or Trey, sorry, not
It's okay.
Tyler.
Yeah. Your brother Tyler was watching earlier.
I seen he was the first comment.
Shout
yeah.
out. But
Jaden, another spare, 180 max for him.
I want to go back to Josh for a second, and he'll be up again, Josh Maslonic. I say this every time, like, you know, I'm from Ohio. I love when Ohio bowlers come and bowl the SYC, but Josh, I think, is the one who spread the word of the SYC in Ohio, because he was kind of the first Ohio bowler to, like, other than Jillian Martin. Actually, I think he came out before Jillian, because Josh is old. Oh, no, he's a little younger. I don't know. But anyway, Josh came out and bowled, and he went back to Ohio, and his family, they were like, oh my gosh, you guys, you have to come bowl the SYC. They're going to JTBAs. They're telling people about it. So Josh started pulling, like, he's like a little recruiter. Like, he, like, pulled people. He's like, you got to go. You're going to learn a lot bowling the SYCs. And his family, they're so supportive of each other. And so back to that bowling community thing, man, they're just, I just love, Josh is aging out. But definitely, he was a big reason the bowlers started coming from Ohio. Like, he started talking it up.
That's how things grow.
Yeah.
You provide a good product and a good memory, for these kids, and they go tell their friends and families, and before you know it, you got tournaments filling up in 2 minutes.
Jeez. Yeah, really. Tony has a question. Kyle, it seems like you really enjoy watching these kids bowl. What is your advice for these upcoming champions?
Well, one is definitely to have fun. That's the easy thing to say, but my father did tell me that, quite often, have fun with it, because it's going to get pretty serious. These kids take their games very seriously, so you got to remember to have fun. But the other thing would be focus on your process, stay in the moment. Focus on your process, your pre-shot routine, wiping your ball off every time, the way you carry yourself in between frames. Griffin has a prime example of a great process, kind of standing around, thinking about his next shot, and then stay in the moment. Keep your thoughts present. Really not trying to think about the cut or, the TV show, especially now, we're coming down the stretch, 2 games left. I mean, Landon, Griffin, Jaden, a couple other players all kind of packed in here together. So this is when you really got to have that tunnel vision of staying in the moment. The only thing you should be thinking about is the next frame coming up. Like Griffin's on the front 8. I'm sure all he's thinking about right now is same thing he's been thinking the first 8 frames. I'm in my 9th frame. He's not thinking about 300. He's focusing on his process. He's staying in the moment. And, that right there I feel like can take you a long way, because it makes just bowling easier. You can see the lanes transition. You can make ball changes more confidently and maybe faster, because you're not upset. You're not really getting fried out if you're not bowling too great. The picture is a lot clearer.
Oh.
Front 9 for Griffin Jordan.
He has had every shot has been in the pocket, right? Like, he's not had a Brooklyn, nothing like.
Nope.
Yeah, he's.
It's the same process, though.
Yeah.
Just standing around, not getting super pumped up.
Yeah,
Because
just
he
chill.
knows he's still got 3 shots left in the game.
Yeah, and that's something too. People always comment when you guys shoot 300 on tour. They're like, they didn't even get excited, like after the 10th strike or 11th, and it is exactly what you said. There is part of you that have to keep those emotions in check, right? Because you're still competing. Even if Griffin say he shoots 300 this game, right? He's got another game.
2 more games.
Yeah, 2 more. Exactly. He can't get too high. He can't let those emotions go yet.
And his brother's got 269 right beside him.
Well, I think
being
that
11 pins ahead of him too. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Tony says thanks.
You're welcome, Tony. Great question.
There we go, Brady. Brady made a move.
Nice
Brady's
shot,
got
Brady.
a double. I told you, it was not him. He just was in the,
I mean, similar to
wrong
Anthony as
zone.
well.
Exactly.
50 in the 4th.
Yep.
That's double. 7 spare double.
Yep.
Jaden, 175 for Jaden. So definitely going to see a new leader this game.
And Jaden might just go to the next pair and strike a bunch. Never know.
You'll need to. I think he'll be all right. I think he'll bounce back.
All right, so I know we are watching both of these pairs, but we're gonna do a little camera switch here and make it Griffin a little bigger.
Yeah, we got 300 alert.
Yeah, we're on the front 9, so and lane 9 is helping us out anyway. I think Anthony lost a pin, or
No,
I'm not sure
he
what happened.
struck. It just didn't respot
Oh,
pins.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Ooh, don't hit the rack now, Declan. Just wait.
That's how we're going. It's all right.
All right, it's good. It's good.
If that bothers you, you're in trouble. Front 9 for Griffin.
Good shot. Good
All
shot.
right.
Come on, Griff.
Front 10.
Now, what I don't know, you can't assume with these kids that I think he has shot 300. I believe he shot 300 in EYT. Can't remember if it was Griffin or Landon. You can't assume they've had 300 games because they bowl on sports shot conditions.
Yeah, true.
So some of them don't even bowl league because they're gone every weekend traveling and competing. So I want to say he's had a 300 game because
I would think so.
Right?
But then again,
I-
yeah,
like,
great point.
I mean, Jillian Martin didn't have her first 300
That's
until
right, I
she
seen
was
on the
like
tour, on
18
tour,
or
yeah.
19. because she never bowled on anything.
Go.
Come on. Yes,
right.
we got that 10 pin. Can you find, does he have a 300? Can you find out? That's what, yeah. So,
Yeah, I want to get this on video too.
I know. Yeah, yeah. Just, yeah.
See, so here's where you got to stay in the moment. This is the big part of the process here. Focus on your process. Stay in the moment. It's the part where you just got to do the same thing. Wipe off your ball.
Okay.
He does have 2 300s.
His dad just said he has 2 300s already. There's a lot of kids watching right now.
Come on,
come
Griff.
on.
Go.
Come on, one time.
Yeah.
He got it. A little fist bump. That's awesome. Great bowling, Griffin. There's a hug. You can't see it. It's just off camera, but, man, that was it's pretty awesome.
It's awesome. Now Landon's got to gather himself. And,
Landon's like,
make a good shot here.
Landon didn't even have time to give his brother a high five yet.
Oh, he already threw the first one at least. So
Yeah.
look at that, 300. Heck yeah, got to
Good
see
job,
one.
Griff. Here, I'm gonna bring it. Let's see, Griffin. I'm gonna see if he'll talk for a minute to you, Kyle.
Yeah, real quick.
Real quick.
Get a quick
Can you talk to Kyle for a second?
quick interview question. Great game, Griffin. Real quick, I just want to know. So what's going through your head the last shot?
Well, I've never messed up a front 11 before, so I had a lot of confidence going into it. I know I was throwing it amazing. I know I had a lot of good hits that game. I know I had the carry. The lane was definitely in my favor. That was my better lane, in my opinion. And I just told myself to ace it and breathe.
There we go. I was complimenting your process was very solid. Carrying yourself, doing the same thing. Front 8, front 9. Give him a peace sign for Deandra too. And yeah, you locked into your process. Great shot. I'll let you get back to it because I know you still got 2 games to get back to work. But nice game, man.
Thank you.
Congrats.
All right.
Yeah, I said, what's going through your head there? And he's like, I've never messed up the front 11 before, so I got confidence in that.
That's awesome.
And he's like, it's my good lane. I told myself, I've had some good shots this game, so pretty much just make a good shot and breathe. So he was in his process.
Yeah.
Locked
It
in
looked
there.
like it. Yeah. Mom is crying in the back though. I'm not sure if
yeah,
Mom's ever
love
seen
that.
one. I wonder because I don't know if they go to every tournament together. Sometimes
That's pretty special
yeah.
there.
So I love it.
Yeah, and he just took over the lead too. So 2 games to go. Griffin Jordan is now your U18 boys leader.
And Griffin
And
does not have an
Landon-
SYC title.
Ooh, okay.
So Landon has an SYC title, a few, or more than a few, but Griffin doesn't.
Landon is 31 pins behind him.
Yeah. And
Jaden
Jaden
is-
doesn't have an SYC title either.
Jaden is probably about 50 pins behind him, 60 pins behind him now. So
Yeah.
still anybody's game with 2 games to go.
Yeah.
But that's one way to kind of boost yourself into the lead. I mean, that was a solid 300.
That's what I'm like.
There was not one trip 4,
No.
one messenger. Caught a couple light mixer hits, but when you play that line, that's the hit you're going to get.
Well, 265
A
for
250
Braden.
here for Josh.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a pretty good. I mean, these
7
pairs
and
have
8
been
is
good.
good. Yeah,
These
9 and
pairs
10.
have been good
yeah,
all
yeah,
week,
yeah.
pretty much. Got a 258 here.
It's just getting matched up at the beginning.
One
if you
Hornet
can-
got the pair figured out. He missed once in the last
Exactly.
8 shots. 7 out of 8 strikes to finish the game.
So I think it just depends when you're coming to these pairs. If you were in the zone already, these pairs are good.
Yep.
If you have to move and get into the right part of the lane, it takes you a minute, but then they're good.
Yep.
So that's kind of what we're seeing. All right. So now, that was exciting.
That was. Keaton with a 220 game down there. Xavier 240.
Yeah, these boys are striking.
I've got some scores coming in.
All right, so as we said, after this game, looks like the bowlers are already ready. They're gonna
John
come right
McCarthy's
in.
coming in. The boss.
John McCarthy is coming in. Now, John does a lot of stuff in this area for kids. A lot of tournaments, just a lot of support. He's supported every program that's available for the USBC or from the USBC for the kids. We're gonna talk to him. We're gonna hear about what makes Kingpin Lanes tick. And then you're going to come back in
They got
with,
some new stuff going on here, too, I'm sure you can talk about.
yeah, so I hope you'll follow these U18 boys and make sure
Yeah,
I'll
watch a little bit during the break. That way, actually, I may even take this to jot down some scores.
Yeah, and then we can maybe have Casey Mattingly might be able to help us get some, because they're going to maybe flip to the other side.
We'll have Lane talk.
Oh, I forgot about Lane. How did I forget, 300? 300 threw me off. Anyway, all right, we'll be right back.
I got you.
And I'm going to grab.
I'll see you game 5.
That's right. We'll see you.
All right.
All right, we are back, and I am joined now, as promised, with the GM of Kingpin Lanes, John McCarthy. Welcome, John.
Oh, thank you for having me. I didn't realize I was promised. There was any anticipation to this.
There was promise. There was. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're coming in off of a very exciting game.
Yes, I just saw it was Griffin Jordan.
Yep.
We just gave him a 300 shirt. We have some polos. I know everybody wears jerseys now, but we still have some polos for the first 300 game of the event.
Yeah, and it was a great 300 game. It was, every shot was buried in the pocket. He didn't have any Brooklyns, nothing.
He is impressive. I watched, actually took a video of his last frame, posted on our social media.
Nice.
And watched his last couple shots. And it's amazing.
Yeah.
How good these kids are. There's no way I had a physical game. I still to this day don't have a physical game that matches with that.
Yeah, it was fun, and Griffin, that game propelled him, and he's currently in the lead right now. So he was coming through, and he goes, "Okay, I need to lower my heart rate a little bit."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, you got this." Like, but
Kusara.
Yeah,
That's that term
exactly.
for the movie.
Yes. Okay, so John, you are one of the biggest reasons that we are back in Louisville because you wanted this SYC here.
I did. I did want to host this event. I had really never been to one. I popped in very briefly to give away some awards to a couple kids when you all were here last time.
Yeah.
But those probably 10 minutes of in and out was the experience I had. I think I've watched a couple of the live streams for a little bit.
Sure.
But I've heard all about them. Everybody from this area who's come back has just raved about them, worn the gear.
Yeah.
We're big fans, so I thought like this would be cool. I have a soft spot for youth bowling.
You do. That's what we were talking about earlier. So talk a little bit about some of the tournaments you run here, and then kind of your involvement.
So I run a tour, the Kentucky Youth Bowling Tour, or Kentucky Youth Bowling Tour. We do events throughout the state. We do a couple of them here. We actually have one here next week.
Yes. A lot of families are saying they'll be back.
Really?
Yes.
That's good to hear. It's our big event of the year. It's kind of like what you do with the short, medium, and long. We do it at 3 different bowling centers, and then we have a 4th center for a finals.
Oh, wow.
So we used to call it like Junior Gold in a weekend.
Yeah.
Bowling a different pattern, different place, every center, and then the finals is match play, round robin with bonus pins.
Nice.
But we have about 4 or 5 stops. We started that in 2015, and it was an opportunity to give Kentucky bowlers more chance to bowl on sport shots, qualify for Junior Gold, get exposure and preparedness for college.
Yeah.
We kind of saw that we didn't have as much, even from when I was growing up.
Yeah. And you're from this part of the country?
I am born and raised here in Louisville, Kentucky.
I love that. I love that.
My grandfather built a bowling center in 1963, about 10 miles from where we sit. A little 10-lane bowling alley I grew up in. And he, depends on what day of the week you're talking to me, he either changed my life or ruined my life.
Yeah.
Based on that. So I grew up there. Actually came to work here in high
Nice.
school because my dad said you need to work for somebody besides me.
Yeah.
And I've been a pretty much head bowling nerd since then, ready
I
to
love
go.
it.
Like I said, I run those events as well as an adult version of the Kentucky Open. And then we were lucky to host the high school state championships here. And then I run a middle school state championship here as well.
I love it. Yeah, and like you said, you do have a soft spot for youth bowling. So there's a lot of youth bowling in this bowling center.
Yes.
Which is fun. The kids are the future. So.
Yes. They're still optimistic. They haven't been beat down by years of bowling.
That's what I always say. I come into the SYC weekend, and it brings me such joy because, especially like you go to the U12 pair and you watch that for a minute and forget about it.
Oh yeah.
Like you're back you're back to like, okay, we need to do whatever we can to make bowling better for these kids, right? Or continue bowling and do all we can.
So when they first came up with the age divisions, I was one of the people that thought that seems silly. I don't get it. And so the first year of our tour, we just did a boys and girls division. The second year, I made the swap, and I remember I worked Junior Gold. I normally volunteer for that.
Yeah.
And I worked my first U12 event.
Yeah.
And it's still probably my favorite squad of Junior Gold I've ever worked. The kids are all shorter, so it's easier to see everything.
Yeah.
They all come in with 2 ball bags.
Yeah.
There's way more room. But they're just bowling Saturday morning league. They're like, you
So
go back to
much
a table and they're talking about Pokemon cards and like it's like real fun and uplifting. And they're like, hey, I just made a new friend, and now they're sharing Snapchats.
Yes.
And, like it's cool. And nothing against U18 kids, but it's a little more cutthroat. It's a little more tense,
Well, I mean, and perfect example today, right? Nothing. We are not taking anything away from U12. Listen, we love U12. U12 is, like I said, my favorite pair to watch. But right now, the U18 race, if you go watch the 3 bowlers that are in contention right now, they're probably not smiling so much. They're like focused. They're like, Griffin just jumped into the lead. He's, by the way, Griffin has a double after his 300.
Yeah, it looks like it wasn't just a good pair. He might actually be talented.
Yeah. And then, but, just watch them. Or like the bowlers we have in front of us. Like, they're in it, and they worked so hard, and U12, they're still figuring it out. And like
Yeah.
you said, they're making friends, and the parents are becoming friends. Like,
It's got to be fun. Like many of the kids, I remember being young and living on every shot and
yes.
dying. And it's there's a Dean Smith quote: "If you live and die on wins and losses, or if you live and die on wins and losses, you die a lot." And you have to remember that this is a game,
It is.
and I want to be good at it. But like when we're done, there's still plenty of life to be lived. This isn't it. Like
yeah.
there's only a handful of people like Kyle
Yes.
who are going to make a living at it.
Well, and what I like to say too, John, is you started this with grew up in a bowling center, grandpa owned a bowling center, right? You're working in the industry,
Mhm.
so I tell a lot of these kids, if you love bowling, like I've been bowling since I was 5, and I work in the industry. I don't compete. I'm not a pro bowler.
Yeah.
You're not a pro bowler. We like to go out and dabble every
Yeah.
once in a while, right? Like remind us why we have a day job. That's what
Yeah.
I like to say.
Oh
But,
yeah.
but when you're a kid, you don't know what life is going to throw at you, and you could work in the sport. Like I think there's going to be more job openings in bowling in the future because these kids are forcing it, right?
Absolutely.
Like they're opening doors because so many of them are bowling, and that's requiring more people that need to work in the industry, right?
I mean, imagine 5 years ago if you had told somebody that you would have a job
No chance.
doing
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
streaming and podcasting bowling events.
No chance.
They would have thought that was nuts.
I would have thought it was nuts.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, there's no way. Like, if I go back to when I started at Storm, I would never have believed I'd be working at Storm, right? And so these kids, you just don't know what's going to happen.
Mhm.
So that's why we love running these SYCs. We love giving kids these opportunities. We love people like you that give them opportunities in the local community so that they can get better and go and bowl in events like Junior Gold or SYC or whatever, and it's great. So thank you for all you do for the sport.
Well, I appreciate that. To me, it's like a pay it forward. There were people who spent their weekends in bowling alleys away from their families so that I could bowl and stuff.
Yeah.
And so this is my way to give it back. And there were things that I always thought, like, why didn't we do this? The Youth Kentucky Open actually started when I was a youth bowler. I started it because we had an adult version, and I was like, why don't we have them for the kids? This seems silly. Michael Roseberry came to me and talked to me about it. I thought, this is silly. They could do this. There's kids that would want to bowl in a big-time scratch tournament like that. So
And
we
you're like,
did it.
yeah, there are.
Yeah. And so, like, the number one thing is, they come and they say, why isn't there an event like this? Why don't you run it?
Yes,
You know?
agreed. Right, it's true. We have people that come at every event. There's hundreds of ideas. Like I was just talking to someone earlier, and they asked me. They go, "Why don't you guys do PTQs?" And I'm like, it's come up a few times. Like, and we offer it. We offer it to the local communities. Like, hey, if you guys want to run like a little qualifier tournament, we'll save a couple spots or whatever. That's the only way we can figure out to do it. Because if you ask families to come in on like a Thursday,
You're making it more costly.
exactly,
And it'd be hard to make the trip to be like, well, maybe we'll make it and stay
Yeah,
this weekend, and
right.
maybe we won't.
right. But it is. I mean, there's so many things that you can do. And the one thing we always say too, like, so the SYC, we don't have match play because Gary and Leanne, when they started this event,
Mhm.
they believe in, Leanne. How many times has she led the U.S. Open and lost in that final match, right? So we really do like that there's no match play because there's a lot of tournaments out there that have match play for kids.
Yes.
So this is just true pinfall, like end of the tournament. Whoever bowled, knocked down the most amount of pins, they win. That format, families seem to like.
Yeah.
We're not doing any mystery. So if you want to run a local tournament and you want to steal our format,
And put a step ladder at the final, more than welcome. Yeah.
absolutely. If you want to add that, like have at it. Like whatever you want to do.
Yeah, our event has the we don't have a step ladder. We have the round robin match play with the bonus pins.
Okay. Yeah.
Which
Oh yeah.
that used to be really popular in
Yeah.
the 60s and 70s.
Yep.
That has faded, and step ladders and brackets have
Right.
become more popular. So the first thing when we have the finals, I have to educate the kids on the score sheet, and that if you win this, you're going to get 30 bonus pins.
Yes.
And then my joke is, like you guys are bowling right now, strikes are not easily attainable.
Exactly.
So if I could tell you I could give you 30 free pins, would you take it?
And they're like,
so
yeah.
You just keep winning, and we bowl 8 games, and like that is, I believe, 240 pins.
Yeah.
There's 240 prints. If I told you got one free extra 240 game, would you take it? And it's cool, but it's different. It doesn't have every event doesn't have to be the same.
Yes.
Letting them play out differently and attract different crowds.
Yeah.
You can. There's still a place for handicap tournaments. There's still a place for
100%.
U12 division.
Yes.
It's you can't. It can't be one size fits all.
No, you can't. These kids, everyone is different, and every community is different, and you know your community, and we're trying to bring the SYC to as many regions as we possibly can. Leanne works so hard on that schedule, and she's like, okay, I want something in the Northeast, I want something here, and we have to find bigger bowling centers, right? Like we just do, and so we're limited into which areas we can go to. But if you're, the Wyoming Youth Bowler Store is a perfect example. So Tremaine, she had a youth bowler. He came and bowled one SYC before he aged out, one or two SYCs. She went home and she's like, we have nothing in Wyoming. We have no tour. She went home. She started a youth tour. And now she has, 60 kids that show up from Wyoming, Utah, like Montana. Absolutely. So exactly what you said. If you're missing something in your area, you're the person that can start it.
Anything is always better than nothing.
Yes.
And,
and it's not easy.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
Good, great is the enemy of good. Good is good enough. These
Yes.
kids enjoy these opportunities. It doesn't have to be the world's, greatest thing or most complex thing. Like, hey, you've got people driving a long way, a 3-game, 4-game sweeper in and out.
Yeah. And start small. Like, that's what we tell people. Like, if you're starting a tour or starting any tournament, if you don't have 100 kids come out the first time, great. Because 100 kids means there's 150 problems that can go wrong, right?
Yes.
If you have 30 kids, that's manageable the first event, right? Learn from it, move on, get bigger. Like, everything grows.
First KYBT had 36 children show up to the first one in Glasgow.
See?
And the one we opened our season this year with 96.
Perfect example.
It gets there slowly.
Yeah.
Which is nice because, I love to have had 5 years of experience to figure out my problems with 96 rather than just open the floodgates and they be the, welcome to the start.
Yeah, exactly. So, and we have a shout out from Tracy Leyendecker, who Abby is bowling this weekend. She says they have traveled near and far, and they have, for youth bowling tournaments. John is one of our favorite ambassadors and supporters of youth bowling. So, shout out to you, John.
Thank you. The Leyendecker family is great.
They are.
The older daughter bowled. She's a past champion of the Youth Kentucky.
Allie, she's a superstar at
Louisiana Tech.
Yes, yeah.
And I believe Abby has just speed raced through a senior year and is going to be joining them next year, right?
Yeah, and I heard a rumor from Abby. It's not even a rumor. She.
That's a good source for it to be a rumor.
She accidentally forgot to tell her mom that she was graduating early before she committed to graduate early and signed her deal. So, sorry, Tracy. That was my funny Abby story when she showed up. She's like, yeah, I might have not told my mom. I just kind of told her after I decided to do it. I'm like, Abby, gotta keep mom involved in this stuff.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but these kids are great.
Yes, they are. I mean, it keeps you young, keeps you, excited. And it's when you see there and you see them make friends and have a good time, you remember everything that's right with the sport.
Yes.
There's way too often, like, in my job, I work the desk. I'm here. I run tournaments. Not everybody is always in agreement or appreciative of my decisions or how things happen.
I'm shocked.
You know,
people have opinions?
Yep. Sometimes they bowl bad, and it's my fault, apparently.
Yeah.
So you get those types of things, and you're just like, get beat down on it. But you come back and you do this. You have the bowlers, the league bowlers, the tournament bowlers that appreciate you, and say really nice things like that.
Yeah. It makes you feel good.
Yeah,
it's a good day.
It helps.
Yeah.
I do have one thing. So
Yes.
I did in preparation watch a little bit of the live stream from yesterday.
Okay.
And I wanted to straighten one thing out that was mentioned.
Uh-oh.
I did not schedule my son's birthday party on the weekend of the SYC. I did not do that.
Oh, yeah, we were making fun of you. We were like, he must have, he needed the bowling center.
Yeah, we were going to have it here, and some tournament came up, so I had to relocate my son.
He's a good father. He is.
So he was supposed to have it last weekend, and he got sick on Friday, so we had to move it. So huge thank you to my wife, Kelsey, and my mother-in-law, Terry, who were able to kind of like take over everything and allow me just to show up for the birthday party during the lunch break yesterday and then come back.
Yeah,
here
you were
quickly.
back quick because I was like, Leanne told me, she's like, yeah, we don't have John right now. And then I look up and the start of the next squad, you're like right here. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
John's back.
I got here right
Yeah.
in time for practice to start.
Well, I mean, when you have a party at like, I heard Chuck E. Cheese, right? Is that
it
where
was
the
at
party?
Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay,
yes.
shout out to Chuck E. Cheese.
They did a good job yesterday.
But I you know, you're not the most important thing at that birthday party.
No.
So you're just enjoying
I'm
it.
probably third. Like you get, my son is obviously the star.
Yeah.
And then my wife, and then I was probably third, and I might have been fourth because
Chucky might have come above you too.
Yeah, Chucky probably did.
Yeah, sorry, but the kids really want to see Chucky when they go to Chuck E. Cheese.
Conveniently for me, it was going to be there anyway, but it's literally down the street. I mean, it's like 3 football fields away.
Like, I did plan this right after all.
It was one of those moments when you're like, there's a bad break coming because this went my way.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. So, and you only have one child, right?
I have one son.
One
he
son.
is John the 4th. I'm actually John the 3rd.
Nice.
We call him JJ.
Okay. Does he
yeah.
bowl?
He has bowled a couple times.
Okay.
But really not a complete game. He's got about good 6 or 8 frames in him.
Yeah.
He's just turned 3.
Yeah. So it's fine.
Yeah. His
He's
favorite
young.
part is the arcade.
Fair.
He likes
get it.
cars, so he wants to do the car games.
I get it. At that age, you're like, yeah, bowling, okay, whatever. Where's the game card?
I wasn't that interested in bowling until when I went to high school.
Okay.
I bowled because my family was on bowling. My dad ran bowling centers, but it was just like a family thing we all did. But in high school, I realized I was short and slow, and so I thought my best opportunity to play a sport at that school was bowling. So that's the first time I got real serious about
And
it.
you had high school bowling.
Yes, we had it as a club level sport.
Nice. And then did you bowl collegiately?
I did. I bowled at club level at the University of Louisville.
Nice.
Um,
I can appreciate that. I was a club bowler too at Ohio State. So
yes, I think we all.
Club is good.
When did you graduate college?
I was 2013.
Okay, so I graduated in 2012.
Okay. Oh yeah. So yeah, right around the same
Did you
time.
all bowl in the American Heartland Bowling Conference?
Yes, we did.
I bowled in that conference as well.
That was a great conference. I love
Yes.
that conference. I think it's still good because Ohio State still has a bowling club. They have a great bowling club. I mean, and you can speak to this too because I tell this to kids all the time. I mean, choosing a school based on what you want to do and what feels comfortable should be the priority, right?
Yeah.
Like, go where there's a good degree that will kind of carry you through life.
For that much money, you should go there for the school.
Yeah, right.
It hasn't gotten any cheaper,
Yeah,
and those loans you take out, they're going to make you pay them back.
yeah, they do. Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
unless you win enough of these to,
Yeah, or
roll
go
it up
win
front.
a Masters, a Queens right after you get out.
Yeah.
You know, that might help. But
I always suggest find some schools that you want to be there. Like
Yeah.
If you don't like a small town, small school's not for you.
mm-hmm.
If you're super unsure what you want to do, find a place that's got some general stuff that you have options, and not a school with 2 degree tracks that if you don't like this one, you're in trouble, and now you got to transfer.
You're speaking my language here.
You should, yeah. I went the club route,
Yeah.
and it was, I met my wife on the club team.
Yeah.
I was able to kind of pay for school as I went, which was affordable. I mean, and it was nice.
I have the exact same story as John, and I had some smart money. You probably had a little bit of smart money
Yep.
to kind of help a little bit.
The first year was really nice when I had the smart money and everything. The first year was real cheap,
Yeah.
and then I blew through that out of the gate.
Yeah, I did too.
The
I feel
books.
that. Yep. But yeah, so I had the same story, and club programs still exist, and they're at a lot of big universities. I mean, I don't know about Louisville, but Ohio State still has a club program.
Louisville's team has kind of bounced in and out.
Yeah.
I don't think they had one last year, but they had one 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And there are some students I know that have graduated from schools here locally that have been going there, and there has been some discussion about possibly
Coming back. Yeah.
bringing the team back.
Yeah, and it does depend on kind of what the classes look like. That's exactly like Ohio State.
It's real student driven.
Yeah.
It's not like, the other universities with the NAIA schools, the athletic department, the head bowling coach, they drive the program. The students have to drive the program in the club team.
Yeah, and what I tell people too, we have this Evolution program, which is a free youth program. Any youth bowler can sign up, and we send out emails. And we did this email last year on college bowling. And the one thing that club program that I don't know if people talk about this as much, but if you're kind of on a business track in any way in school, when you're at a student run organization, you have positions that you're budgeting. Like we did all of our own budgets, and we had someone in charge of like travel, and they worked with an adult like advisor.
Yeah, we had an administrator through the intramural department
Yeah.
that we had to go through and submit for request early, or submit checks, make travel arrangements.
Exactly. And you're learning all of this like real world stuff. And then we also, you know, it only occurred once, but you kind of hire your coaches too. So if a coach is leaving, the club decides, okay, we want to bring in this person to coach us. And then they're almost reporting to you in a way. I mean, we loved our coaches, so we didn't have any issues, but it's just really great. It's great experience that you'll take with you when you go and actually have a job.
It is much like serving on a local association.
Exactly.
I know you grew up around Joe Diamond.
I did.
Yep.
She's one of my favorite people in bowling.
She's awesome. I've dealt with her.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a business, and it's
It
got to
is.
be run efficiently, and it's a board of directors that's supposed to make groups as a whole, not a dictatorship.
Yep.
You know, it's a good experience. It was hard. I joke. I coach a high school team now, and it's high school bowling was so much easier than college bowling, because not only like we had to sell T-shirts, you know, so we could afford to go to the trip that weekend. As we're in high school, you just showed up, or we just drove to Dixie Bowl, down the street, and we're
We
here
used
for
to
our
do
tournament.
candy bars. That was our thing. We had like the Anthony Thomas candy bars.
Yep.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of selling chocolate.
I felt like we did everything. We did pancake breakfasts.
Oh,
we
nice.
did no taps. We had these. We took the cardinal and the logo and bent him up so that he was bowling, and he finished like a bowler, and sold those shirts. And then we got Charlie Strong became the coach.
Okay.
So then everybody was Louisville Strong.
Oh, that's
so we
cool.
made Bowling Strong shirts and sold them. And I used to have a station wagon in college, because that's cool. But at most times there were 2 or 3 boxes of T-shirts in the back, so in case I was ever anywhere and someone wanted a shirt, I could sell it right there on the spot to fund the team.
But that being said, if you are a kid and you're like, man, I just want to go and get my degree and go to school, and I want to bowl and I want to have fun. Like you said, I met some of my best friends in college bowling, and you compete against all the teams. Like we saw Wichita tournaments.
Yep.
Like, I mean, you go to the Hoosier, you go bowl in like every college tournament, and you also are like, I loved school. I loved the classes I took. I loved the track I was on was communications. The program was fantastic. My professors were great. Like, I wouldn't trade any part of college. I just wouldn't.
I wouldn't either. I had a great time. I got to compete. I got to, test how good was I. Could I hang around? I got to know all that. I got to meet all kinds of great people, go to a lot of cool places. We got to bowl the big tournaments. And I remember at that time Saginaw Valley was really good, and they were the dominant team in the HIVC.
I remember that, yeah.
And so, I still have never beaten Dan McClellan.
Yeah.
But, man, every time I bowled him, I never bowled under 200, and he always beat me. I remember I bowled 247. The first time I bowled him, he shot 279 right in my face.
And you're like, man.
And we had the match play points.
Yeah.
So I never got a point off of Dan. But, when we beat them in one tournament, that was awesome.
Well, and here's the other thing that I love that you just said. You bowled. So some schools you're going to go to, and, you may not bowl. And sometimes you want to look at, what's important to you when you're going to school. We talked about the degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
I bowled a lot of frames in college. If I'd chosen a different path, may not have bowled. I may have been, learning and practicing and bowling with other people, but I wouldn't have gotten any competition experience. And like you said, you learned, you gauged where you were at. I knew where I was at. I knew where I fell in this sport, and it's important.
Yeah, and for some people that's important.
Yeah.
Some people want to go somewhere and get a certain type of coaching.
Yeah.
Get to bowl so much and experience and have these types of teammates. Some people want to play.
Yeah.
They don't want to sit on the bench. Exactly. And you're seeing how that is changing everything in intercollegiate athletics right now with the transfer portal.
Yeah.
And people are like, it's great that I'm a 5-star and you signed me to Alabama, but I don't want to sit behind the other 3 5-stars.
100%.
So I can go to, Memphis and play right now and I'll be their best player.
Yeah.
And it's gonna trickle down to everything.
Yeah, it is. And so it's, if you can decide, the transfer is great, but if you know what your priorities are going into it, it saves you a lot of headache.
Some of the transferring things are from poor decisions early on.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
you're not getting an NIL deal probably.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah,
you
I
should
don't
probably
think so.
make life easier on yourself and weigh those things in early.
Yeah.
We had a kid down here with the front 7. I thought we might have some more excitement.
I
but
know.
He just,
Connor Woosley.
Yep. Actually, yeah. Connor
That's your guy.
bowls for me at Trinity, as well as Brandon Padgett's close behind him. Those are our 2 bowlers that are competing this weekend.
I like it.
As well as their KYBT guys. There's probably about 20 KYBT kids competing this weekend.
Yeah, and this is what happens when we get an awesome guy like John in. Like, we do try to talk about the bowlers, we promise. Zach Smullen here. I think this might be one of his last SYC. He's from Texas. He actually goes to Newman with Billy Murphy. He's one of the bowlers out there.
He just stepped in front of the bar return.
Yeah, he throws it all right.
Yeah, he's not bad.
Good shot there. So it's just, and Mike Velasquez is watching. He says his daughter has offers to bowl college. No one had what she wanted to study, and she had three years free at the community college, so she picked that route. Yeah. Another example, like,
you're in a state where their best option is the big state school. Like here in Kentucky, we get huge discounts to go stay local.
Yeah.
And so you got to pay for it.
That was my big, literally, John, we have the same experience, because when I was looking at these schools, now I was playing tennis too. So I was kind of looking at some D3 offers from tennis, but I was comparing the cost, and I'm like, okay, Ohio State's, this is what makes sense, right? For my decision, my family, like Ohio State makes sense. And then what happened? So I made it through school. I worked through school. I paid as I went.
Yep.
And then on top of that, and I don't know if this still exists, but I would go out on a limb and say that this still exists. When I was graduating from Ohio State, there was an offer for Ohio State grads. If you had saved some money and you were in a position to kind of like buy a home, there was a special loan for Ohio State grads in the state of Ohio. So I was actually able to buy my first house because I graduated from Ohio State. I didn't have to put down as much as a down payment.
Yep.
And so there's just, you got to weigh everything out. It's a very personal decision. I tell families all the time when they start that junior year, even now it's like sophomore year, they're talking about it, but it is such a brutal time. Like, you just have to weigh everything that is important to you, and no one can tell you the right answer.
I remember going through that process and really not knowing what to do. I applied to Western Kentucky that had no team at all.
Yeah.
Louisville had a club team. Pikeville had a good program,
yes.
A really good program.
Really
and honestly,
good program.
I may not have been able to play much at Pikeville.
Yep.
And Moorhead was really good. And a bunch of my friends went to Moorhead, and so, but it was I couldn't live at home. And I wouldn't be able to keep the job that I had here. And I thought, well, I don't know, and they bowled a lot more. So I just went with the route. I was like, Louisville's close, Louisville's easy, it's cheap. And then if I don't want to, I can transfer out. At one point, I did change majors.
Yeah.
And I had options because I'd looked even into transferring schools if I wasn't happy with what I wanted to do. But they had something that I was able to go take a couple classes the next semester and try it out.
Stay on track.
And then I switched over and kept the other one as a minor and didn't have to worry about the other issue of, you transfer. All those credits never all transfer.
Yeah.
I don't know why schools, have
it's so hard.
such a different standard for their entering English class or whatever it is. Yeah. But like nothing, everybody I know that transfers, nobody ever gets them all.
Yeah. I was just talking to someone about that. I can't remember. I think it was a college coach. They were just telling us, like, that transfer portal, you're exactly right. The credits are just, I don't know why, but it doesn't always work out the way you think it will.
And you're seeing those athletes in basketball and football and women's basketball do that. They're doing it because their main aspiration is to become professional or at least Olympic level athletes. And, no one wants to hear it, but that's still less than like 5% of the bowlers or of the athletes out there.
Yes.
And so, if your dream is to be on the PWBA or the PBA tour, then you need to make decisions in college for that.
Yeah.
But it's not bad to have a backup plan.
No.
And it's not bad if that's not your long-term goal.
And there's nothing that says we have when we travel to some of these local communities, we have PBA 50 bowlers that come in and talk on the live stream all the time, and they talk about how, when they were this age, yeah, their dream was the PBA tour. They might have gone out and tried it for a year, kind of figured out, yeah, this isn't really going to work out for me.
Yeah.
And they went and got a really great job. They worked. They were in a position where they can retire, and now they can go out and compete and have fun and go chase a title. And
who's the guy that wins all the Eagles? Works for Target up in Minnesota.
Oh, Matt McNeil.
Matt McNeil.
Yeah.
He had a podcast where he talked about, like, he tried it.
Yeah.
And the pressure to make this week's rent
Yeah.
was hard. And
Yeah.
the moment he got that job, and he's like, I'm guaranteed that no matter if I bowl bad this weekend or great, the bills are getting paid and there's no pressure, all of a sudden
The swing loosened up, right?
everything was fine.
Yeah. And right now, shout out to the parents that make this possible for the kids, because sometimes these kids don't feel that pressure yet when they're bowling out here, and so then they'll grow up in a minute and they'll go out, and all of a sudden it will be a different experience.
Oh, yeah.
So
From
yeah.
moving from this, I always joke that I love the smart system, but it's monopoly money.
Yes.
This weekend, the kid that wins is going to walk out here with the same amount of cash as the kid that comes in last.
Yeah.
It's different when you chuck the money out of your pocket
Yeah.
and you're trying to win money and it's in cash form. Like
Oh, yeah.
that, from the moment I moved up, you can just tell the difference between adult bowling, people bowling for cash, and essentially, people who are bowling for fun.
Listen, I still like to bowl once a year. Like, I like to bowl queens, right? I put down $500 to bowl this year, and then the week before, I had to have a very honest conversation with myself and go, Blair, did you practice enough to really go out and compete?
Yeah.
And Blair and I decided we didn't. So I lost $50 withdrawing, but that's a big chunk of change. $500 is a lot to just go out and say, yeah, I practiced maybe 2 weeks.
For an experience.
Yeah, not going to happen. So it's yeah. So John, well, thank you so much for your insight, and thank you for all that you do for the sport. And we hope, we're not. It's not time to announce the schedule for next year.
Yeah, there's a lot of logistics to work out.
Yeah, but we're hoping that we can come back. Sometimes we take a year off. Sometimes we come back immediately. So if you're a fan of the Louisville SYC, John has done a good job, making us feel at home here.
I wanted it to be an outstanding experience. You guys do a great job, and the center has to live up to the event.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to make it to where it was easy for you all and
it's been
great for them. We want to host events like this. Anytime you want to come back, we would love to have you.
Yeah.
And we're open to any way we can make it better. I hope the kids liked their popcorn yesterday.
Oh, that was a great, and it's the little extras that bowling centers do. That is like for families that are watching.
Mhm.
Thank John on the way out, because it really, like, we didn't tell him like, hey, could you give the SYC bowlers a gift? Like, you did that because you're like, I want them to feel good about coming too. Right?
This may be, these things are hard to get in.
Yeah. Oh,
So
man.
theirs might be the only one they get to bowl in, and I want them to have a good experience. So they walk back and they talk about how great these events are, so that your guys' events can grow.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
love
not a problem child of
No.
of
Yeah.
any issues.
We've been very, very lucky. So, thank you again. Good luck next weekend.
Yep.
We'll be rooting for you. We know how hard it is to run a tournament and make sure everything goes off
It'll
with
be
ease.
it'll be all right. We'll start on it on Monday because we'll be preoccupied this week. But
Yeah. You mean you're not taking a day off?
no, not this week. No, this we'll run through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. And then so your schedule is like, okay, I'm gonna run this tournament. I'm gonna run the tournament next week. Oh, by the way, in a couple, you got Bowl Expo. I'm sure
Yep.
you're going to Bowl Expo. Then you'll show up and help at Junior Gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just all in.
Some people say it's crazy, mainly my wife, but yeah. My dad always told me those that give get the most. And so if I hadn't been a nice guy, if I hadn't, helped out, you guys may not have taken my bid seriously.
Yeah.
And so it's part of what you got to do. If you want good quality things, you got to give and you got to help people out.
Well, there you
And
go.
pay it
John's
forward.
given lots of little nuggets here. So we are going to take a tiny break. Kyle is scouting out the U18 boys division, and then he's coming in and he's going to give us the full rundown. I think we're going to be watching U15, it looks like.
I think you're getting girls.
We are getting girls. So
I think the U18 girls are making the jump. That's Kendall Craig. I know she's U18.
Okay, cool. All right, well,
Yeah.
we're going to take a very, very short break, and we'll be right back.
All right. Thank you.
All right, we're back.
Hello. My
Kyle's
forehead's
back. Kyle Troop is back in the house. And we got some U18 girls in front of us. We've had some girls that we actually have not seen all weekend long. So they've missed the live stream pair. They've been like jumping around it.
Okay.
So we got some Morgan Klein, SYC champion, Brianna Archibald. She's a past SYC champion, and I'm pretty sure I would say she's still leading U15 girls, but
because
she was
to jot some numbers down here.
She was up by a lot going into today. I haven't seen her bowl a game, so I don't know. Yeah, she's still up. She's good. Bree's gonna win U15 girls.
Yeah,
So you're gonna watch this new, well, not new champion. She's got one title. This will be her second title.
Yeah, Brianna is almost 200 pins ahead of second. So this is officially Brianna's victory lap here this last game.
Yeah,
I guess
she's
we could look and see on the overall for the day though, and see if she's.
Oh yeah, the
where's
long.
she at
Let's
on
see
the
where
long
she's.
pattern?
Oh, I just switched divisions. Crap. Let's do this again. So, she is not bowling very good today.
No, she is
She's back.
about 100 out of the lead today. So yeah, she struggled today, but that means she must have bowled really well the first 2 days. Do you have Alexandra Smith?
Miss K Smith.
Alexandria K. Smith.
So I think what's going on is this is mostly U18 girls. These are some mixed pairs. So what happens with the lane assignments is sometimes we'll have some last minute withdrawals. And so Bree is the oldest in her division.
Okay.
So she got, and I think she made a request to bowl with someone because of a travel thing. So she got bumped up to a U18 girls pair. And then we also have a mixed boys and girls U18 pair. So this is mostly U18 girls. That's who you're watching.
I'm going to go to the U18 girls standings then and see what we got.
Got SYC champ and Evolution staff member Mary Beth Baker. She's on your team, Kyle. Team Storm.
Let's go.
She's pretty good.
U18, Caitlin Stoll, 120 pins ahead. So maybe a victory lap for Caitlin.
Emma Yoder. She's from Ohio. She's a great bowler. She's not. This is her first SYC. She hasn't quite made it to the SYC events yet, and she's testing her luck this weekend. Bethany Strong had a great short pattern out there.
I seen her talking to Leanne a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Trying to see if we've got like any close eye. Do we have Gianna anywhere?
Gianna has not. She's had a
There
little.
she is, right there. Okay.
Oh yeah, she is. Is she?
So she's
is she
in
in
third
contention?
place overall.
She had a great day on the long then, because we looked last night and she was pretty far down.
Is there awards for overall or just the leader? Overall?
Yes. There are overall medalists too.
First, second, and third.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so she's 25 pins ahead of Abby Starkey, and 32 pins out of second from
So-
Rachel Moore. So a little bit of action there to keep an eye on.
I want to look up what Gianna bowled today, because that. Let's look. Do you have it up?
Gianna? Yep, I've got it right here. Gianna has. Well,
Oh, it looks like 220, 180, 250, 230. Yeah,
Oh,
so she's had a
okay,
great
okay.
day today. She's 94 over on the long.
yeah, bumping herself up to medal contention.
Rachel's 115 over. Caitlin Stoll's 105 over. These girls are like
Hannah
like,
Perry,
man, let's
72
go.
over, two-handed
Yeah.
girl. So,
Abby Leindecker's 6 over. She's bowling on Gianna's pair. Her mom was watching. I think that pair is just off camera. She just barely missed it this last game. I'm telling Abby's mom like I'm talking to her on the phone.
yeah, so a lot of these divisions are actually kind of decided for overall champions, which I kind of don't like. You know, I want to see some intense action down the stretch, but I guess it's fitting since we've got kind of the mix
Yeah.
going on here.
So Allie here, who just bowled on lane 8, Allie Shutuk. I think I did say her last name wrong. But Allie is from Cincinnati. Now here's a cool fun fact about Miss Allie. Wright State is a brand new NCAA program this year, which Wright State has had a great bowling
Wright State?
program. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, in Dayton. They've been a great club program for years. Jeff Fleck's a great coach. And they just recently became an NCAA program, which is huge for them. Allie was the first Ohioan to sign
Oh, wow.
at Wright State,
Okay.
which is really cool. So shout out to Allie. She's
Pretty
going to go
neat.
bowl for Jeff next year. And it'll be fun.
Best of luck to Allie at Wright State.
Yeah. Trevor Ashby, he's had a good tournament. I don't know how he bowled today.
He's 216 over
He's
overall.
he's part of our evolution team. What I love about Trevor is he does this bump post every week. So he shouts out to some one person he's met bowling in a tournament and gives them a little shout out on his fan
Okay.
page and tells a little story about another youth bowler, which I think is cool. He
That's
gives
pretty
them
cool.
like a bump. Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah, Trevor Ashby. Oh
Mhm,
yeah, he's
yeah.
third place. So that was the one division. I ran Griffin. You know, he fired off the 300 to take the lead,
Yeah.
and then he had 265 with 11 strikes. So he went 23 out of 24 strikes.
No way.
He's 71 pins ahead of his brother going into the last game, and then Trevor is another 54 pins back. So
Oh wow.
it's pretty much the Jordan show for first and second, maybe. But Trevor here, front four. I mean, if he fires off 300,
Jeez. Way to keep
gotta
going.
make those guys show up.
Jaden Bowder here.
And Trevor's got a 10-pin lead on fourth for the bronze medal overall from Keaton.
Well, and he wants to keep that. He has the front
Yeah.
floor. So he's like, I'm not giving up anything. Miss Maddie Phillips. This is one of her last SYC. She's going off to college. Wichita
Alright.
State. She's going to be a shocker.
A shocker. All right. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah. Exciting and sad. It's always like, I'm so excited for them, but I'm going to miss them.
You know,
I wish they could stay forever. But then they'd never grow up.
have you missed an SYC, Blair?
I've missed a couple. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I have. Yep.
I was going to
But
say,
I-
I figure you've been to most of them.
I've been to most of them. I just love the SYC. John said exactly what I say about why I love the SYCs, and I think you'll appreciate this, Kyle. You come to an SYC. Everyone that's here loves bowling more than anything else. They're so optimistic. They haven't really been hurt by the sport of bowling yet. And there's just like, and not that you get hurt by the sport of bowling. I'm not trying to tear down any bowl. Like no one, chime in and be like, "What are you doing, Blair?" But there's just like, you go watch the U12 boys. They love bowling. Like, you remember when you're a kid and you're like,
just love to bowl.
yeah, this is, and you just, it's like, this is, it kind of refreshes you. It gives you a little more like,
Appreciation for the
Yeah.
game and
yeah,
what we do.
exactly.
Reminds you to have fun with it. Watching these kids just go out and love the game and
Oh,
love to bowl.
They love it. I mean, when John McCarthy was just talking, he's like, U18, they're a little more serious. There's a little more, live or die by every shot. But even then, there's still kids out here that it's still kind of new to them, and they love it.
I think that's the other thing. We keep getting new faces, new kids involved. And,
Yes.
interested in bowling. Just kind of shows where the state of bowling is at for kids right now. It's
growing.
no better time to be a youth bowler. I mean, you've got tournaments galore,
Yeah,
opportunities, scholarships left and right.
I love
Pay
it.
for that college.
Yeah.
Don't know if this is updated. No, that one's not updated yet. I know we had some movement in the U15 boys. I believe Braden McDonough took over the lead over Joss Weems.
Brady, wow. Told you, he lurks. He's like,
He's sneaking along. Yeah, he was 15 back, but he had 250 working into the 10th.
that's awesome.
Waiting on the scores to update. Trevor here, front 4 on lane 7. And the
That.
run is over.
That is a harsh way to
6,
end.
7, 10.
That's all right. He'll get to move on. Back on it.
Maybe he'll make it. Throw it hard, Trevor.
That's right. Morgan Klein's game, man, she just keeps getting better. She's going to be in that, working through some college decisions in the next couple years.
It's from North Carolina, right?
Pennsylvania, Morgan
Pennsylvania.
is. Yeah, she bowls a lot of events. She travels all over. What I like to say about her, she was in the U12 division at our very first SYC in Reno. So she's been around at
She's done
SYC.
it, yep.
She's been like,
Moving up through the divisions.
yeah, and it'll be, I mean, eventually, it's hard to even believe it because the SYC started in 2017, which doesn't feel like that long ago, but eventually we're going to age out the kids that bowled.
That started it.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
They don't
Wait a
have much
minute.
more time.
No,
No,
yeah,
if
right.
there's
Morgan,
any left.
like
Like-
Morgan was, I think she was the youngest bowler.
Wow.
Maybe her and Micah Voris both were there, and they're gonna
And
age
Micah,
out
yeah.
soon. So I'm like, this is nuts. We got Ryan saying that he wishes that there was this kind of visibility when he was a youth bowler. So glad it's much of a thing now. I think we all would agree. I mean, it's great. I mean, these tournaments didn't exist when we were kids. Like,
No, nothing like this. I mean, I had people ask me, like, when did I move up? And, I moved up at 16 out of youth.
right?
I didn't bowl junior gold. Really wasn't a lot of tournaments, youth tournaments around the area to bowl. And then the youth league that I was in was not very fun anymore. It was just more, didn't look forward to going.
Yeah.
And
Needed
so I,
something to challenge
decided
you.
to move up
Yeah.
at a young age, which obviously kind of gave up my college eligibility, so I didn't get to bowl collegiately, which is a huge learning curve, and the experience and everything you can gain from that is great. So I guess I had a little bit tougher way of learning, kind of just out
Absolutely.
in the streets or whatnot, so to speak, of bowling.
But,
took a little longer for me to learn, but maybe I learned the harder way. So
right.
I guess I could say I'm doing all right now, but if I had to go back and do it, probably definitely would have tried to stay around in youth and bowl collegiately, because maybe I'd have more titles now. But then again, who knows? Maybe I learned my own edge by maybe not going that route. So.
Well, this is actually what John and I were just talking about. There are so many different paths you can take. Like, if you take every kid that's here right now, right, and you look and you go, there's no right answer for the next step you're going to take, right? Some kids will say, you know what, I want to go try tour. Great, do it. Some kids will say, definitely want to bowl in college. Some kids will say, I don't really want to bowl in college, but I still want to bowl. I want to bowl leagues. I want to bowl, I want to go bowl the national tournament. There's so many different, or, you can go to college and then say, I want to work in the industry. Because what I believe is going to happen is the amount of youth bowling there is now is going to create a lot of jobs in the sport of bowling. And so some of these kids that are super smart, like we read these bios and they're like on the robotics team and they're like doing crazy stuff. They're going to work in the sport of bowling somewhere. They're going to create some job that doesn't exist now. So I don't think there's anything wrong with anyone's personal journey, and it's just up to you. Like, how are you going to tackle it? So, anyway. I think you did great, Kyle. I think you're still on a good path.
Thank you.
Building a house, doing all this fun stuff now, moving to Louisville.
Going to Mexico.
Going to Mexico, taking a vacation.
Yeah,
That's pretty fun.
It took me 31 years.
And you can still get to bowl. We shot by Bethany. A little double there.
Pardon me. Whew.
All right, we got, let's see. You know, the girls don't seem to like the end transition here. Although, yeah, no, they don't.
Got a few decent scores, but, you know, I guess like yesterday, we got to watch the women start over here, and the boys kind of finished on it.
Yeah.
And now we see the boys started over here, probably a little further left than the women started. And so now where they would expect to be able to play, it's kind of where the guys started. So it just makes it a little more over-under, a little wishy-washy, not quite sure where to play.
Probably seeing a little friction in places they don't want to see friction.
Correct, yeah. The ball's probably hooking a lot earlier in certain spots than they want.
Shot by Christopher
Archibald.
there, too,
Great
on
shot.
8. Nice. Oh, that was for a 4-bagger there. Good job, Bree.
Telling it to late. Tried to talk it out of the 4-pin.
She tried. It didn't listen. She tried hard.
All right, so
Gianna's striking. I just said people aren't striking. Gianna's striking. She's like, strike, spare, turkey. Here we go. For 10 pin.
All right, so I'm about to go through all the divisions real quick and see if we've got anything. So Miles Gordon, 188 pins ahead of second in the U12 boys. So that is a victory lap for Miles. And the U12 girls, Olivia Portillo, two-handed lefty. She is winning that division. U15 boys, Brady McDonough is 70 pins ahead of Joss Weems.
Yeah.
And then 5 pins behind him is Adam Wakely. Another 13 is Elliot Gordon. So still a little action there for the overall medals. Let me jot that one down. Do a little live look at the lane talk. Joss is 9. Wakely is 5. And Gordon -8. U15 girls, I think we figured that one up, right? Brianna Archibald, 90 ahead.
Yeah.
Pulling on lane 10.
She's crushing it. She's going to keep that lead.
She's going to win that.
Yep.
U18 boys. It's Griffins for the taking. I know that's another one to kind of look at lane talk.
Yeah.
Already got those written down. And U18 girls was Caitlin Stoll. But yeah, Gianna trying to secure herself a medal, though.
So who's leading that division?
Caitlin Stoll, 225 over. Rachel Moore, plus 105. Gianna Brandolino, 73. Then Abby Starkey at 48.
So Rachel Moore has one SYC title, so she would secure her second SYC title. She won in Nebraska a few years ago.
Very nice.
She's a stellar softball player, so she is a multi-sport athlete. Yeah.
I'm going to hop on lane talk now. I'm curious about these few divisions.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's look at, I'd like to know what Griffin's doing now. Can't see him anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, again, for Griffin, 300 game 3, front 6, 6-3, sheet.
That's his game now?
No, that was his fourth game.
Oh, okay, yeah. Jeez,
Let's see, where is he? He's probably down the end.
The only thing he said as he was passing through, because he asked if he could cut through the live stream booth, I'm like, Yeah, you just shot 300. Here you go. Like,
Zach Smolin.
yeah,
Front 7 on lane 16.
Zach was bowling here last game, and he got
Yeah.
lined up.
All right, let's
But-
keep scrolling through.
Griffin said his heart rate. He's like, I need to lower my heart rate. I'm like, you got this, Griffin. You got this.
Oh my goodness, Griffin Jordan spare 5 in a row spare.
He's like,
He's
I
leading
really
by
want to
71
win.
pins,
I love it.
and he has 268 left with 3 frames to go. Trevor here, he's 3rd overall in the U18 boys. 54 pins behind Landon Jordan, who is struggling a little bit. Only 227 max, so I'm pretty sure Griffin's going to win his first SYC title.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that'll be so great.
In dominating fashion. He's going to bowl over 800 the last 3 games
That's
to win.
great. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, even if he goes spare, he bowls 800.
Yeah. Well, and like we've said, you know, these kids work so freaking hard. Like, so when they can win a first title, it's just awesome.
Oh, wait, Zach Smolin, that was the guy that was just out of the cut in the U18 boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
All right,
he's,
so we
he's
got.
making a run.
I mean, he's 122 pins behind Landon Jordan, but he's got the front 8.
So on lane 8, here's what Zach did at the last, because we were watching him. He was on 7 and 8, and he stepped up in the 10th frame. And Zach bowls for Newman University. We talked about that earlier. And he stepped in front of the ball return. And so that's what he did in his 10th frame. He was checking it out. So
Yep.
I'm sure he continued that. If I had to go out on a limb, he's in that blue and pink shirt that he's stepping up on lane. I don't know what lane that
He's
is.
going to be on the right lane, so yep.
Yeah. But I would bet he's going to walk up and step in front of that ball return still. Because that's where the boys are playing now. As you said, started here, and that's where they're
I mean,
ending
when
up.
you start at 4th arrow, there's only one place to go, and that's further left.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be crazy, though. He could bowl 300 and still not get a medal.
Look at, here he goes.
Yep, he's in
Yep.
front of the ball return,
Yep.
front 8. Let's see what we got. Bet he's going to loft it, too.
He's, yeah. He had just made this move at the end of the last game. Yep. Gets a lot over the fronts.
Hey, front 9.
Man.
Great shot for Zach. Guess
So-
maybe I can peek at the pattern of the day.
Emma. What a shot. That was 4 in a row for Miss Emma, lefty. Sweet swing. Super sweet.
Who was that we were just talking about? Zach?
Zachary Smolin. Yep.
Oh, he's having a rough day today, too. 849. Wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to tell that. Front 9 the last game.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was just trapped. Like, I think he finally was like, you know what? I'm just bailing out. I'm like, I'm going to jump in front of this ball return. And that's a skill that not every youth bowler possesses.
I mean, youth bowler. We're talking adult bowlers, too. Like, I'm still working on in front of the ball return every time.
Yeah, right?
It's a tough thing.
Shot Morgan.
Good shot by Morgan.
Double.
She went 4 pin the last 2 shots on that lane. So nice adjustment made there.
Keegan's in with a little shout out to Griffin. Pretty awesome.
Let's go ahead and keep following that. And there was another chance at 300. Josh Morgan on lane 20. Yep, he's still striking. He's got front 6, front 7. Now the live scoring's not working. Come on, man.
Kyle, I think you'd agree with Ryan's comment here. The intelligence of these kids is truly astounding. The moves they make are so smart.
Very much so. I mean, and it just comes from being able to bowl tournaments like this and, have opportunities to compete on sport patterns and be in these pressure moments. And this is where you really learn and where you can gather that experience and take forward.
Yeah.
These last few frames coming down the stretch of a tournament, trying to get a medal or, trying to place.
Yeah.
When it goes good or when it goes bad, you can remember that moment.
What
Good
a bomb
shot there from
Trevor just
Trevor.
threw. Holy cow.
3rd overall.
Yeah.
66 pin cushion on a medal. You got to think he's feeling pretty good.
He wants
Probably
that
doesn't-
open back, but
But the guy behind him has the front nine, so he's technically like shutting him out
yeah,
with this 260 game with a 60 pin cushion. So it's big,
it's
big
huge.
shot. Zach
yeah.
Smolin, front 10. Yep.
Man.
You need to get that video, Blair.
No,
We
I'm
got
hoping
somebody
someone's
down
down there. Let me text. I'm gonna do a little Mayday text.
Mayday, mayday.
What we might do though is if he gets the next one, we need to. I'm gonna go turn that camera so that at least the fans at home can see.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. I'll just go carry it down there. We go mobile camera.
I wish we had a long enough cord to do that.
Zachary Smolin stepping up, front 10. Way left. Way left.
Oh. Okay,
11
hold on.
in a row.
Going
We're
to
gonna
change the
turn
camera.
Blair coming in clutch. We're going to see. There is Zach. Front 11. On lane 15.
I think you can kind of see it, maybe.
Yeah,
Do
I
I
can see
need
him.
it? Okay. All right, we're gonna make this one the big one. There he is. Yeah.
Yep, there he is. I don't think we'll be able to see the pins.
Yeah, that's what I was worried
yeah,
about.
we. Yep.
I can't tell.
No,
if-
we can't.
Yeah, it's the wrong lane. Hang on.
Just a
You got it?
tad bit. Yeah, I think I can.
Think you can reach? There you go. Oh. You got it. Right there. 300 from Mr. Zach. Kyle, good
Alright,
camera
look at
work.
that.
Look at the camera
One
work.
hand, I feel like I'm about to drop the camera.
Oh, that's all right. It's all right. We'll go back to this cam.
All right.
Yeah. You got it.
There
Good
we
job.
go.
Yeah, that was
Now
great.
We got some bowling going on. All right.
Yeah, good work.
Not bad.
Yeah, that was
Another 300.
awesome.
Look at that. Two
Yeah.
300s one day at the SYC.
Fantastic.
So that puts him at 248 overall. So Trevor needs 233. And he just struck in the 10th.
Yep, and we're gonna watch Trevor finish his 10th frame here.
That's a great finish for Zach. But Trevor said, not today.
He hangs on.
So
Good work under pressure
I'm
there.
going to
too.
check Landon's score, though. Because now Trevor got around Landon if he doesn't bowl 200.
Ooh.
Let's see.
All right, here we're gonna watch Mr. Trevor Ashby. Great young man. Here we go, and Eternity. Ooh,
That may
That's
be
all right.
big there. So
Oh.
that's 263. Puts him at plus 279 overall. That's almost a 220 average across 3 patterns.
pretty awesome.
That is some great bowling. So actually, that shut out Landon. Landon needs 210 and he only has 206 left. So it looks like Trevor got him a silver medal overall with that 260 the last game
I like it.
by possibly 3 pins. Yeah, pretty big. Pretty
That's
big
huge.
game there for Trevor.
That was a
That's pretty
huge
awesome.
game. Yeah, to hold on. All right, I'm gonna fix our camera so we can watch. We'll finish this
Oh, yeah.
10th frame. It's okay. I'm gonna fix that camera. You keep talking about these great bowlers, and
All right.
then we'll have another camera.
All the Griffin fans in the chat. Griffin gets his first SYC title. And, uh-oh.
This is
there we go.
this is the mobile camera angle we got going on. Oh man. All right, so we're going back to our 2 frames. We'll get a little more.
219 max.
I'm sure we have some. I know Mary Beth's mom usually watches, and Brianna, I'm sure, has some fans watching. So I want to make sure we show as many bowlers as we possibly can. Emma with the duo. Emma Yoder on the new duo. Stephanie Johnson and Shannon O'Keefe are the famous duo.
The famous dude. So are Jesper and I, but
It's true.
they're better. Yeah.
Well, they're older at least. Just kidding. We got to come up with a new nickname for you guys. Two amigos. I don't know. I don't know what you guys want to be.
We'd have to figure that out. Maybe we'll go to Facebook for that.
You got this. What is our duo nickname? Although you guys should totally do a duo video and send it to Shannon and Steph. I know
I'll be
you're
drilling
not together.
mine.
Yeah,
I'll be drilling
nice.
mine up after Mexico.
I mean, I know Jesper usually throws pitch blacks, but maybe
He's
could.
throwing a lot of resin this year.
Oh,
You know, he threw more resin this year than I've ever seen him. And I hang on to a lot of his equipment. So I have about 24 of his bowling balls at the house.
Nice.
6 of them are urethane out of 24.
That's
So
huge for him.
that's the kind of year he had. Throwing a lot of resin, you know, having to learn, you know, just learning the resin shapes and, you know, how to the transition is completely different than with the urethane ball for him. So
Yeah.
big learning curve for him this year.
All right, so our 7 and 8 pair is finishing up here. Miss Jillian gets that spare. She's going to be our last bowler. And then we're going to make our 9 and 10 cam big. Let you guys finish out watching the great SYC in Kentucky. Louisville.
Brianna Archibald winning.
Yeah, our champion.
Nice victory lap there. 2:20 the last game.
She's like, yeah, everyone's striking. I guess I'll do it too. Why not?
I think Brady is getting the U15 boys.
Get
And
a
all
little
the rest
glimpse
of
of
them have been
11 and
decided.
12 too for those watching at home. Give you a little.
Oh, a
More
glimpse
bowling.
of the 8-10.
That was great.
There it is. Nice shot, Chase.
You're
I know
welcome.
Chase Glazier. Hey, Bill. That's his father. They own,
Nice.
oh, gosh. Century Lanes in Hampton, Virginia. There we go.
Oh, nice.
They're just going through a resurfacing the lanes. They have wood lanes there. We bowl regional there
Nice.
once a year. Kind of in that August summer tour series for
Sure.
the PBA Super Regionals. So, his family is a PBA host. Shout out to Chase and his monstrous 8-10. Bill, I hope you're watching.
What a backswing.
Watch him make it. Yeah.
He gets that backswing pretty high up. I like it.
There we go. Come on, Chase. Here we go. Shot, Chase. Come on. And he didn't look over here.
All right, Miss Mary Beth. Here you go, Sarah. You can watch Mary Beth shoot this spare. We're going to lose Mary Beth, too. She's going off to college. I think I said that, but
All the college.
I'm
It's
telling
like the
you.
college pair here.
This is the college pair. They're all leaving me. Parents, good luck to your youth players. Thank you for all that you've done for these kids. If they don't say thank you enough, we hope we do, because we know who's driving the car.
Without the parents,
Who's packing
these
the trunk.
kids are not doing hardly any of what they're doing. So
Yeah.
gotta shout out the parents.
Oh man, it is on a lot of work being a parent. I'm not even a parent, and I can see how much work it is.
What a grinding game for Maribeth too.
Yeah.
192 clean.
Yeah, she is. She
1, 2,
is
3,
a spare
4,
shooter.
5, 6, 7 spares.
Let's end on a strike, Mary Beth, right here.
Throwing the duo one more time.
Get it.
And just another non-count to smile about and
Yeah.
take home with her.
Mary Beth is one of the bowlers in the U18 girls division that we have either younger players or other players always want to bowl with her because she makes them feel really good when they're bowling. So we always get requests like, "Can we bowl with Mary Beth?" And we love that. She's just a really good. She's a good sportsmanship bowler.
Taking a picture of her last game, probably to laugh about it one more time.
She's like, thanks, bowling. 191 clean.
Clean.
Appreciate
Finish.
you. Appreciate you.
999. 6-9 counts. Clean game. 191.
Maddie here worked hard for her game too. She's gonna finish 184
184
with
for Maddie.
2 opens. That was a very hard game. Then here we go, Miss Emma. Her swing. Watch this sweet swing.
This
Oh.
is smooth here.
My goodness.
Putting up a good little set, too, here.
Absolutely.
Get up.
It
Oh,
does. It does. Good shot.
Another duo going down the lane.
A duo.
Seen a
Duo's
lot of
popular.
duo this weekend. A lot of duo.
It's a good ball. It's that kind of middle of the road transition ball you're looking for.
Yeah.
Especially for the ladies. Those balls are hard to find. When you can find one that gives you something that you
Gives you a little mid lane, gives you a
Yeah.
little pop down the lane as well. Tough to sometimes find the combination of both. There we go. I'm going to be busy for a little bit, Henry. Henry said he's got $20 for pinball. That's a lot
Nice
of
shot.
pinball. Great shot there for Emma.
Ryan has the quote. I bet how many parents would agree they've heard this. Hey, Mom, can you put my equipment in the SUV for me? I only need like 12 balls this week.
Gotta
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, that's a parent. Shout out to the parents. They put up a lot of work. All right, Emma. Send us out with a strike. Come on. You can do it. And it's off. Looks good.
Little in, but
Come on.
oh.
All right. All right. Really good game.
36. Great game for Emma.
All right. Well, that concludes the commentary and the live stream from the SYC in Kentucky, Louisville, Kingpin Lane. Shout out to all of our sponsors. Shout out to our fans for watching. Kyle, shout out to you for being here.
Thank you.
Our
Thank y'all for having me.
players volunteer their time this weekend. So thank you for coming out and supporting the SYC and hang out with some kids. And Henry is ready for pinball.
Oh, yeah.
So we know
Pinball's
you
going
made an
down.
impact this weekend. But good luck
Thank
to
you.
your next event. Enjoy your vacation.
I sure will. Yeah, thank you. It's been a lot of fun. Just want to thank Storm and all the sponsors here involved with the Storm Youth Championships. Thank you, Blair, for hanging out on the booth. I'm sure the parents and everybody appreciate the live stream y'all do.
Well,
really
my
enjoyed
joy was the grandparents got to watch Griffin bowl today.
and
his
win his first
300.
SYC
And win
a
his
300.
Yeah, man, what a day.
And I think he shot 800 the last three.
I love it.
That's a storyline. So
I love it.
thank you very much.
All right, we'll see you guys
again
in-
soon.
Yes, we will. Indy next month.
All right.
We're here. So
5 million entries.
that's it. We'll see you guys.
Thanks for watching. This has been a live stream of the 2023 SYC Kentucky from Kingpin Lanes in Jeffersontown, Kentucky. The preceding was produced exclusively by Storm Bowling. For more information on upcoming events and more, please visit stormbowling.com. Once again, thanks for watching the SYC Kentucky.